don't even know what you did there.
Fixed something at the last minute. So, unbelievably, it feels like about 6 months Roddy was last here, but no, it's been since 2024. I think we didn't manage a Roddy vPub in 2025, but we're going to fix that tonight. We're also going to do something else, a promise that you made. I think.
Was it a promise? I was in my cups, probably.
Maybe it was a suggestion by the community, and I think one of us said one day that will happen. And I think that there's no choice, but it's happened. Roddy turned up tonight with gifts, and the gifts were Slankets. He brought me one colour and himself a different colour. So before we get rolling tonight, shall we? Let's show everybody what the concept of these things are. You might remember that original Roddy vPub. It might have been the first or one of the very first Roddy vPubs. He talked about us doing a vPub in a Slanket. Now, this lassie looks awfully comfy here with her cup of tea and things, but notice here, she's got a pocket for the remote controls, but Roddy thinks that might convert nicely into a dram pocket. Let's see. Let's get these things open.
Okay.
There is no way we can broadcast in these. I can feel that these are going to be
already,
toasty. Roddy's got a fetching red number. We should have done this at Christmas.
A Christmas Slanket.
Right, this is going to be upside down.
There we go. See, I've practiced.
See, this is a first time for me.
There we go.
Right.
Here's your dram pocket.
Oh no, I don't want to make your mistake, because if you put it on like a robe, the pocket ends up at your backside. Right.
Dram pocket.
This is a legitimate whiskey podcast, by the way. This is a legitimate broadcast. Please bear with us.
See, this is why you should have practiced, mate.
Look, there's the skyrocket here.
Hey, do you need a hand? Right?
Oh,
you've got it. Yes,
I've got it. I am slanketed
to the max, fully slanketized and ready to pod.
We could do it outside in these. Wouldn't need to be.
You look like Gandalf.
You look like Santa. Oh, man. Right.
So
Cheers to making good on promises.
Only took 5 years, but you know.
I'm looking forward to it tonight.
Oh, boy. I'm roasting already.
It's boiling. I hope you are too. I'll see you all in a second. As long as people can hear us, right? The funniest opening ever, so people can hear us. So I think I've got an issue at my side with the audio settings, but I don't think. There we go.
What do you want to be able to hear?
I wanted to hear the intro and things,
the music.
Just so that I could mute it. So it's okay. But when I couldn't hear it, I was disconcerted. Anyway. Hello, whiskey folk. Welcome, everybody. I need to get these off.
It's a bit roasting, isn't it?
So it took 5 years to make good on the whole Slanket arrangement. But this is and did you work out that this actually might work as a...
No, it does. Look.
I'm worried about dropping.
You just need to commit
place
to it,
rather than drop.
And then... How come yours is on your belly and mine's is down on my crotch? No offence. Sorry, what?
This marsupial whiskey.
Marsupial whiskey.
Yeah.
Kangaroo whiskey.
I tell you, they're boiling though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Thank you. Can I keep this one?
Yes, of course.
Cheers, fella. I know another half of mine that will devour this.
I expect
Cheers, everyone.
to do every vPub wearing this.
As you know, it's already boiling enough in this wee room without us getting involved in there.
Ditch the Slankets.
Let's remove them carefully rather than ditch. Oh, there's quite a bit of oose. There we go.
Always wash your slanket before use.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oof, that's terrible.
It's quite oosy. Yeah. There we go. Thank you, sir, and welcome back behind the bar. It's nice to see you again, fella. And it has been too long. There was a general. It wasn't a policy by me, but there was a kind of general vibe in 2025's vPubs that I just kind of wanted to rely a wee bit less on guests for a while, and it was a lot to do with just the sheer. It wasn't us, these type of sessions. It was more a case of just the sheer amount of email you would have about, oh, we've got a great guest that you could have for us. And all the guests that appear on the vPub are here at my invitation. And that's the only way I can run it, because I only want to do the content that I'm in the mood for doing. And sometimes if you have a guest on, then the content is predetermined by the guest.
Yeah.
One of the wonderful things about Roddy is that he can invite himself for a start. You can invite him on for seconds. And it doesn't matter what the topic is. What I'm in the mood for, what you're in the mood for, we'll talk about anything, right?
I mean, this week I'm here on behalf of Big Slanket.
.com. Be very careful punching that invented web address in. We've got no idea where you might end up in the dark web somewhere. But clearly they are a thing. I always thought Slankets were a Billy Connolly thing.
Until I actually went and bought one, I thought it was like a sleeping bag that you climbed into, which would have been even harder. So it's quite good that it's not like that.
There's at least a little bit of freedom of movement in it. It would have been opening up the vPub like Heimlich, the caterpillar, right? Trying to get everything done.
But if you're a cold-blooded person, then I mean that was like 2 minutes and I was boiling.
Yes, no, it's not for me. Not in the house. I mean, if you're outside at the fire pit, that type of thing, I think it could come in and function there. I suspect that we may trip over it into the fire pit.
They're very long.
They're quite long. They are wizard-like. But there you go. There are other Slankets available in different styles. It's really funny. Can I just share with you? Because you said, no, I'm going to try this on. And so Roddy opened his first in the kitchen and he put it on 2 or 3 times and he couldn't find the pocket until he turned around and it was at his backside. Because obviously you go into arms first with the panel down the front rather than pull it on like a robe, right? Yeah. But if you did pull it on like a robe, you've just got a back pocket stash for the remotes and things. It's
not very comfy, so
no,
when you're lounging.
No. Anyway, this is a legitimate whiskey topic we're going to try tonight. And I'll apologise at the start. Undrinkables is a wee bit clickbaity. That's intentional. But it's also just a easy way to draw attention to the fact or the bottles or the concept of those whiskies that are a wee bit like the analogy of the Brussels sprout I used in the kind of intro and the description. Some people love Brussels sprouts. You love a sprout, right?
I do.
We enjoy a Brussels sprout, but we all know people who won't touch a Brussels sprout. And it turns out you look into it and there's a genuinely, I even looked up what it was. It's some kind of glucose, something or other. There's an element in the sprout that manifests on, and some people are not, it's not just a case they taste it, they're really sensitive to it. It makes Brussels sprouts to them inedible. So
that's a shame.
It's a very, very awkward analogy to whiskies and the subjectivity of whiskies. As much as I try, I've got friends out there that will just never like a whiskey that I rave about, that I like, and I want them to understand why I like it and things. And there are other whiskies that they'll bring to me, famously Sevy's 11-year-old English whiskey company from Northstar, right? The man buys bottles upon bottles of it, and he's grown to adore this whiskey that I think it would be nice to have a bottle on the shelf out of curiosity, but it's not something I would be reaching for to drink regularly. There are lots of examples like that. And sometimes in my collection, when I come across a bottle like that reacts a bit like a sprout to me, a Brussels sprout, it's just left languishing on the shelf. It just sits there. And it then becomes something that I either need to gift or give away, or in my scenario, in my context, it's maybe something that's nice to keep as a reference or something as part of a library. But what it made me think about is discussions that you and I have at the Whiskey Club a lot. not just you and I, but loads of folk at the Whisky Club, the things that we like and the things that we don't like, and how it is perfectly acceptable to disagree.
And we do.
Sometimes we taste
Quite
bananas,
regularly.
sometimes we taste pineapples, sometimes we get smoked, sometimes we don't. All of these things, there are objectively smoky whiskies and not smoky whiskies, but there's the ground in the middle where you say, oh, the smoke's quite hidden. Or I can see how this other note would be. I'm trying to make excuses for my peat blindness that I suffer from regularly. However, whiskey is one of these spaces where it's okay to disagree. You and I are very, very comfortable. I'm very comfortable not agreeing with you on things, and I think it is to be encouraged and celebrated. But Roddy and I were trying to come up with a topic at the end of last year for what we would do in this January vPub. And I thought this topic is perfect Roddy fodder because it gives us an ability to try and find some objectivity if it exists. It probably doesn't. But I've lined up 6 whiskies, and I'm going to share with you what these 6 whiskies are. And these whiskies are interesting whiskies, okay? So right now, unnosed, untasted, all of these 6 whiskies in front of you are interesting whiskies. They've been sitting here with a wee lid on top and a wee colour designator on each glass. And we'll be drinking the same whiskies. I'll try and drink them at the same time as Roddy. As he's sipping it, he'll look away quietly, and I'll share an overlay so that everybody can see what Roddy's drinking at the time in case he decides to describe it or talk about it or whatever. But what I'm going to do with each of these whiskies is I'm hopefully going to use it to start a topic, a different topic. You know, Roddy vPubs are always tangent vPubs, and long may that continue, yes? We can talk about anything. And while Roddy's tasting and thinking, I'll do my best to interact with you guys as well. So there's a topic underneath each dram and a category. It's very clumsy. It's very ugly. So I'll welcome everyone in, do what we always do. And then after that, what we'll do is we'll get you to read out what the 6 categories are, and we'll just get our faces into the whiskey after that, okay?
Sounds good.
Good luck, fella. You've not got much left in that glass. You've got a tiny wee sip. Cheers,
enough.
everyone, and welcome. I hope you're all doing well.
Slange.
Silly Billy's opening with Slankets. How are you doing? Let's welcome some of you beautiful whiskey folk and dedicated barflies. That's a good dram to start with, right?
Yeah, that's
And we've started with a wee calibrator. I'll show everyone what this is. I was talking about this back when it came out, I think in 2024, this first landed. Scapa 10-year-old at 48% ABV. We're not sure of the colour on this. It might be natural colour. It certainly looks like it could be, right? But we know it's unchill filtered, 48%, and we hope it's unchill filtered. But it's a big step up for Scapa.
Yeah.
The 40% stuff was fine, but it was bland. It was kind of like just whiskey for whiskey's sake, if I'm honest. And we always felt that Scapa was being betrayed a wee bit potentially. Never to the point of being an undrinkable, I'd say. But what we've got now with the 16-year-old, the 10-year-old, and hopefully progressive releases going forward from Scapa is a new vision that's going to keep some of that wonderful Scapa-ness that we used to get back in the days, make it much more accessible to everybody. So that's our calibrator, and the reason I went for that is that it's right in the centre of the flavour map. Roddy's obviously enjoyed his one, but you're welcome to pour a wee bit more if you would, or go right ahead and just get stuck into your...
Whilst you're
welcoming in the folk.
I'll figure out what I think about this first one.
Brilliant.
If anything.
Sean Holtgrave is celebrating being a member of the Barflies for 22 months, and he said, "Sup, dudes? Sean, it's very nice to welcome you in, buddy. Thank you for your support as a Barfly over the years, and it's great to have you in tonight, buddy." Jimmy Legg has bought my wee dram. I've minimised the video. I can't watch this. I'll just be listening.
Does he mean it's unwatchable, or does he mean he's doing something?
He means it's unwatchable. Unwatchable. It's nice to have you in, big guy. I hope you're doing well. Justin Wan has bought me a dram as well. Justin out in Hong Kong. Good to see you, buddy. He's saying, just popping in to say hi. Probably going to pull the parachute soon, but this dram is partly for Roddy. He welcomed me at Glasgow Whisky Festival in 2024, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in Glasgow Whisky Festival 2026. Do you remember Justin?
Yes, I do remember meeting you, Justin. I think I was talking to you when we were near the North Star table, I think.
Wow.
There was an awful lot of people that I was meant to be getting water for everybody, as always at the festival, but there's so many people wanting to talk. And then, of course, North Star always have so many mad drams at their stand that you get a lot of people congregating there.
Yeah, I wonder if there'll be any North Star in the lineup tonight. No, there isn't any North Star. I don't want to send you in any. Chris Pollock is saying a good idea for merch. Put the Aquaviti logo on it. Slankets. Oh my goodness. Gary Field is saying, hey, Roy and Roddy, did a warm up at London SNWS after work. First visit, couple of great Ardnamurchan drams. Hey, Gary, was one of them called Barfly by perchance? Did you see this?
I did see that.
Yeah.
Bit cheeky.
I don't know whether it'd be chuffed, flattered, indifferent, or annoyed. You know?
I mean, I guess they release so many whiskies that yeah, no, I saw that, yeah.
So this is the SNWS Barfly bottling. It's nothing. I only hold this up to everyone to suggest it's an Ardnamurchan single cask. 149 is Ardnamurchan. A 9-year-old ex-burbs. Same vintage as the Ardnamurchans I released, 2016. But it's nothing to do with me. So the whole Barfly community thing and stuff, this is either just I think it's just a wild coincidence. But usually the names do talk about flavour, but not always. They just call them names. It must be harder to come up with names.
You know, they do so many that, they must run out of inspiration sometimes.
Yeah. So they run out of inspiration, a wee bit of plagiarism. It's all fine, isn't it? It's like,
and it's. I mean, you can't actually claim the word Barfly as your own. So
I cannot in a whiskey context. No, I cannot, and I haven't registered it. And people only refer to themselves as Barflies if they want to. You know, and it's just
because of the outside of the context of the vPub, it's not entirely a positive word.
No, that's right. You're a bit of a booze hound, a bit of a pub botherer is what you are, right? But I wanted to talk about pub botherers in the sense of in the vPub, Barflies, and that's where it came up. It's been a few years now. That's me, yuck, devil's food. Hey, what the hell's what are you eating that's devil's food? It's nice to have you in. I hope you and Andy are doing well. Is he back for work tonight? Good to have you, Helen. Adrian H is in. Good to see you. He's saying, like sulphur sensitivity. Good point. We might get an opportunity to talk about that very thing tonight. I'm not going to suggest there's any sulphur in any of the drams tonight, Adrian, but I think it's a good one, especially when you talk about, that kind of acrid nature or side to Brussels sprouts. I can enjoy a sulphury dram with a bit of fireworks and matchstick and all that stuff in it, whereas someone else is not getting fireworks, they're not getting cordite, they're getting farts and eggs and all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, whoa, are we nosing the same whiskey? But it's just how it's interpreted to different people. It's a good shout. Pete Edison, love Brussels sprouts, cocktails, and great polluted whiskey. On the other hand, he's talking about sherry cask and mixed drinks. It's funny how we have open-minded Frank about, I like all of these kind of weird and wonderful whiskies, but just don't put it in a sherry cask and don't be mixing it, right? It's funny how we can be open and closed-minded at the same time. Frank, it's good to have you here, big guy. I hope you're keeping well. Ian Williamson saying, after a long brain-draining day at work, this vPub is exactly what I needed. I know it's barely started, but the Slanket fun is already a perfect antidote. Fantastic, buddy. Nice to have you in, Ian. Thanks for going along with the fun. Evening, Roy and Roddy. Says Ryan Sullivan, good to see big guy, saying, so far I've not been dragged upstairs to deal with a toddler who doesn't enjoy his sleep. Maybe a wee Slanket would be just the thing to send them off. So you never know, Ryan. There will not be Aquaviti branded Slankets. It's just not going to be a thing. Brian Cabales is celebrating being a member for 24 months. Nice to see you both, healthy and dramming. Cheers. Good to see you, Brian. Nice to have you in, big guy. Thank you for your support. Andrew Pierce is saying, sadly, there is some caramel in there, Roy. Oh, it's coloured. The Scapa is coloured. They say so on the product information on their website. I still love it. It can't be that much different a colour, I don't think.
The texture is the main thing that I was enjoying about the Scapa. It's got that lovely.
Despite being 48, it's thick. It is definitely thick. And I know it's the first dram of the night. This is our calibrator, but it's one of these oily things, and it's a nice thing. David in Portugal is saying, how's it going? Cardew Gold, Nika Coffee still, and Westcourt Port Finish are 3 great offenders in my journey. Wow, interesting. And in all cases, after 6 months, opened and untouched, rounded off the off notes. Oh, okay. So sometimes, and that's when it's the great discussion about, did the whiskey change or did we change? Just putting it out there because.
And there's the whole neck pour rabbit hole to fall down as well.
Yeah, we might have good chats tonight. I think. Orange Will is saying, hi, Roy, tanned a bottle of the Scapa over the festivities. On your recommendation, it's not bad at all. Slantia, real, so good to see you in. And I'm glad I didn't steer you wrong, even though I might have suggested last year that it could be natural colour, and Andy's set us straight. Justin Wan is saying, hey, that's right around the North Star table. Impressive memory, Roddy. I was impressed. Barfly was great, Roy, says Gary Field. Fantastic, buddy. Good to see you in, Gary. Falscraft is saying, I only ever had one whiskey that I found undrinkable. A €9 bottle I bought from Aldi. It was really so bad that I poured it away the only time I did that. I have yet to pour a whiskey away. That's not true. I've poured away glasses or dregs, or, but I've never found a reason to pour a whiskey down the sink.
You can always use it for cooking. You know, like a whiskey sauce or something.
There's only so much haggis and whiskey sauces.
I love haggis.
I love haggis. I am in charge of making haggis for the burn supper at the weekend, right? It's a whiskey cream sauce, peppercorn whiskey cream sauce. But you only need a splash. It's like tablespoons. Making whiskey sauces is not a way to get rid of your surplus whiskey when you're at our stage, right? When you're at our accumulation. Hi, Roy and Roddy. My most undrinkable drams have been those with wine finishes that don't blend together, like drinking a bad cocktail. You and I feel the same about wine. I've got to tread very carefully with wine. Matthew, good to have you, buddy. Alistair McPhillips saying, good evening, morning, afternoon, Aquavite and Roddy. No Rod Royce tonight. Maybe next time. I think we need to recreate the reverse Rod Roy.
Or something, you know. We'll think of something.
Think of something. You've probably used up all your Ardnah cask strength, right? Or it was a single cask, I think. Everyone Gale is saying, to use Barfly term, legally involves arcane rituals, secret handshakes, and virgin sacrifices, as I recall. Good to have you in, Chris. I don't know what Barfly gatherings you're going to. Sound a lot more fun than ours, to be honest. Just poured the Glasgow Good Spirits Company, teaspoon Klein Leash.
Oh, yes.
So definitely not on the theme, as is very drinkable. I'm not going to put Roddy on the spot as to whether it's a Klein Leash or not. I'll just leave him nodding and saying, oh yes, quite happily. One of the divisive notes is the rancio that comes from strong types of sherry like Palo Cortado, says Jeff Sugar Kitty. I love Palo Cortado, but I do find it can be a wee bit savoury, and I wonder if that can lean into rancio for some people. Good to have you in, as always, Sugar Kitty. Neck Pour is in as well. Did I hear Neck Pour? That's his name. Whiskey and Wine Trails Thomas say my undrinkable was on Montana single malt, rancid sunflower oil, and earwax. Oh my goodness, earwax. That sounds like something to avoid. A Montana single malt. My only pour away bottle of Bowmore 12. Said Macher, a guarantee, please don't go near the non-age statement. Bowmore 12 is gorgeous in comparison to the non-age statement. Bowmore is a heartbreaker for me. I just think that it's probably one of the most misrepresented whiskies that exists out there from their official bottling.
Yeah, you have to get sort of into the second half of the 20s before they start to handle them the way that I think they ought to be.
They should be handled. And it's interesting you say handle them. It's not what they're making. It's what makes it into the bottle.
Yeah.
The Fishio releases can be good because they're often handled a bit better. The Atlantic Sea Salt release. Outside of those, though, you're looking at indies for Bowmore, and sometimes they're not allowed to call it Bowmore. Ironic that the best stuff doesn't have the Bowmore name on it. Don Pass Whiskies bought me a dram 2018 Rassie Well We Wait source bottle was so hideous. It has made me not want to buy their own whiskey, as what they picked was so bad to me. Oh, that would be a shame. And I think it'd be good if we could get past that, because I was speaking to somebody about Dilluan, somebody in the Aquavite Guardians circle group, talked about how they won't go back to Dilluan because the Dilluan that they had, they got to the point where they gave up on it and I think poured it away. Whereas you and I know there could be some absolutely dreamlike Dilluans out there in the world. I wish I could remember who it was I was speaking to in the Guardians. Anyway, it's nice to have you all in tonight. Wonderful to have you here. I'll try and interact with you guys as much as I can. You're straight ahead of me. It's always difficult when I've got a guest on and we're having a wee conversation though. But for the folk who are using this as a podcast and listening in, we've got 6 glasses in front of us, 6 topics in front of us, and 6 brackets or categories. And throughout tonight, Roddy's just going to be, he's not on test here. The whiskies are not on test here. I suppose they are a wee bit. I would be interested to get your take. But what we have is 4 whiskies that for me have become undrinkables. And by that I mean it's not that I can't sit down and drink them. They're undrinkables because they just won't be consumed because there's so much other things to reach for
that comes ahead of them.
These are things that I'll never find myself in the mood for because I think they are weak and effortless or lazy, or because I think they are beyond interesting or curious. They're a little bit challenging, and I find them things that I'm not going to reach for, things that I would term as undrinkable. But in the mix there is something that is also, you could explain and describe exactly as I just have, but weirdly, perversely, oddly, I've persevered with a whiskey that has become something I like and I will miss when it's gone. But I still remember what that was like when I first approached it. And I know how it must be when I give it to other people because they taste it and go, oh no, that's not for me. And I find myself going, okay, well, I'll take it back and I'll drink it because I don't want it to go to waste. But it is odd. And then there's one control whiskey in the lineup that's in there. One of the best, densely flavoured, complex, interesting whiskies. But it's here as just something I think is beautiful. But I also know that there are certain flavours and elements to it that some people would pick out as being a little bit odd, but to me, it's just a beautiful whiskey. So there is a control whiskey in here as well. You're utterly blind. You don't know, you have no idea what we've got in front of you, right? But please relax about that. You're not being tested here tonight. I wouldn't like you to be sitting here trying to guess what the whiskies are. I would love you to come to this from the perspective of, is this an oddball? In what way? And hopefully that can lead us down a wee discussion on each of the drams. Is there anything that jumped out just from your first spread to summarise the flight that you have in front of you?
So there's three there that I would characterise as stinky.
Oh, stinky! There's a good great starter.
So, these two seem to be stinky to me. So the blue dot and the red dot. And then the pink dot is stinky's not quite the right. It's kind of aromatic.
Okay. So blue is stinky, red is stinky,
and this pink one is very, very aromatic.
Okay. And what do you mean by aromatic? That's more than just possessing aroma, right?
Yeah. So that it's one of these useless words that booze trade people use. You know,
I have a definition for aromatic, but I'm curious as to whether it matches in any way.
Yeah. So if you're talking about like in terms of wine, then all wine smells of something, but there are certain grapes which are deemed by the trade to be aromatic. So there's Riesling, Gewürztraminer, Viognier. They're typically described as aromatic grapes, or New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
So where the aromas are a very important part of what you're enjoying in the wine. In the same way, I guess you could say that Islay whiskies are aromatic because of the smoke. But I think what I mean in this context, and I realise he's making me deconstruct my own shorthand.
Well, I can show you, because you're talking about the pink right now. I'm going to show everyone which one you're talking about here by putting an overlay on the screen. And I've deliberately put these off screen so that Roddy can't see them. I think it must be.
So it's this one, Roy.
Pink. Yes, it is pink. Yep. Okay, and it is this. I'll try and put this up on screen so you guys can see what Roddy is talking about right now there. So what I've got here is I've got a description for you to tell you what the whiskey is, a ABV. The colour dot is here, obviously, a price point of what it would cost you to pick up a bottle. The category that I'm putting this under, Roddy won't know this, but you'll hear him read this out a wee bit later, and whether or not I deem it an undrinkable or not. So there you go, Roddy. You can turn back if you want. So that's the pink aromatic for me.
I guess so. Just to finish up what I was saying. So the aromatic in the sense that it's got a really pronounced aroma, which is not part of the normal flavour profile for Scotch. To me it smells like cedarwood.
Yeah. There's a real
spice to it.
It's like resin and polish.
Yes, I see the polish thing.
Beeswaxy type polish or something.
Some kind of furniture polish, aye.
Like it just freshly applied, almost you've walked in a nice clean room, but the chemically and something quite vegetal, like sappy type. I'm still in the resinous theme, am I?
These are all Scotch whiskies, eh?
No, these are all whiskies.
Oh, whiskies.
But by all means, these are. I mean, you can see you were commenting on the selection of all over the planet the whiskies are, right, and that's very much a thing. I'm curious. I always end up back in the rut or the lane of Scotch whiskey, but I like to sip all the other stuff to reassure me that the Scotch whiskey is what I'm really enjoying, right? So I love exploring that.
Is this rye whiskey?
I know, but I think we need to get. This is interesting for the people watching as well, because I think we need to get into going through so that we can involve them. And as soon as we're talking about a specific whiskey, they can see what you're sipping it as well. I think it's interesting. Franz G is saying, if Roddy likes one of your Undrinkables, did you successfully find a way to unload your bottle? Didn't I say that earlier?
Yes, you did.
If he says that any of these are belters, he's going home with them. And he's like, the last thing I need is more whiskey. And Alistair is saying, do you remember that travel exclusive Fettercairn that we both took a scunner to? Oh, was it a travel exclusive one, or was it one of the warehouse edition ones? One of the warehouse edition ones after belters were quite raw.
How do you do the thumbs up? Sugar Kitty is saying aromatic equals good stinky.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Stinky good or stinky bad, says Bowman. Yeah, exactly. Peter Lee's bought us a dram. Good to see you in, Peter. He's saying, two of my heroes in the one screen. Thank you for looking after Denise and I. Good to see you in, big guy. It's nice to have you here. Thank you very much for the generous dram, Peter Lee. All the best to you and Denise. Cheers. Right.
Cheers, Peter.
For me, I'm not going to finish this tonight. This is there's something that is not in my lexicon of whiskey in this.
It's really dry and tannic.
Yes, tannins. Yeah.
I think even if you really like this, you would struggle to drink a lot of it because it's so drying.
It's a caricature of the flavour profiles that's in it. It's taken them almost to the extreme, I think. I think if this was dialed down and if these notes flickered in other drams, it would be quite a nice wee accent or something, but it's just full on. It's almost chemical-like now. It's almost a bit synthetic. Aromatic, by the way, for me, because I use that word a lot, so it's probably something to dwell on. If you imagine it in the scenario of fruit, I often find myself talking about aromatic fruit. So fresh fruit, bright fruit, tropical fruit, all of that. But see, once it goes a wee bit ripe or overripe, that's when it becomes a bit more aromatic to me.
Okay, right.
Also, you've got kind of clean, cheesy dairy type notes, but then you've got funky dairy notes. That's when it's becoming a bit aromatic.
Yeah, okay. So we're definitely using the word in
slightly different,
with a different meaning.
Yeah,
you know. I mean, I think I'm coming from that wine side of it, where arbitrarily some grapes are labelled as aromatic. So then I use the word there because that, you know, that jumps out as being different from the rest of them. So because it's not. You know, it's not a Scotch type aroma to me, you know, which is why I asked if it was rye, because it's got that real spiciness, which I guess, I mean, the colour doesn't suggest mad. Unbelievably,
it feels like about 6 months. This just come on.
Is that
of its own? It's us.
Okay.
Apologies. Let's put the phone on Do Not Disturb. Did you just hear that?
I did.
It just started my voice coming from the side. It's very freaky. Yeah. These things happen. It's on Do Not Disturb as well.
Two Roys in the one place.
Nah, no, okay. It's not good. Right.
So are we going to look at these?
Yeah, you will notice you've got some. I did say it's not, you're not on test, but we have gamified it a wee bit. So you've got some coloured dots in front of you, and I would like you to take these 6 categories and apply a coloured dot if you think that you've matched any of them up. I'll let you read them out.
You want me to read them out just now?
Yes, go through all 6 and see.
Okay, so we've got Life's Too Short, This is cheap whiskey with very little redeeming qualities other than cheap.
Which makes it, for me, an undrinkable.
Yeah.
Why would you waste liver on?
Why would you waste your units on rubbish?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so then your next topic is too much, just too much. Sometimes things are left to the extreme and it benefits no one. Okay,
these are quite ambiguous, right? But let's go with them.
Well, no. So then we've got weird, but moreish. Strange flavours, but somehow interesting in its oddness. Okay.
Yeah.
Still too sharp and jaggy. Shouldn't exist as a single cask. This is the kind of whiskey that may seem bottled with little care or quality assurance.
So yeah, QA, yeah.
Then we've got far away from whiskey. This is whiskey by definition, but maybe too huge a flavour departure. Okay, interesting. And then finally we've got stupidly good, dense and tasty. This still needs some time and isn't without its challenges, but it's just good. So straight away, I'm putting these 4 to the side, and then this pink drum
is either
too much, just too much, left to the extreme, or far away from whiskey. So legally it's whiskey.
Yep.
But the flavour, like, it's so far away from the. So it's one of those two.
Right. I'll just remind everyone what it is before he.
Shall I turn away?
You just glanced at his. There we go. That's what the pink is, and
interesting. So I think I'm going to say that this one is just too much. Because it really reminds me of rye. You're saying it's not a rye, but
it's not a rye. I mean, rye would be a whiskey, but it turns out this is not a rye.
So that's like, and I don't think there'd be anything wrong in making a whiskey by some other method and ending up with something that tasted like rye.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like I did say, I think I couldn't see me drinking much of this because it's so dry.
Yes.
But you know, it's
what are you going with?
Too much, which is because you can't drink a lot of it. You know, it's too much. Dry.
Okay,
but it's definitely whiskey.
Okay, good.
So, there we go. So I'm going to say this is one of your undrinkables.
Okay. So we'll just get a wee pen and we'll put an X next to that as opposed to a tick. Okay. So you're suggesting that this is an undrinkable. And if that was therefore an undrinkable to me, you're verifying why it's a struggle for me. And you feel on this occasion, it doesn't look like we're disagreeing on this one.
Yeah, I think if I had a bottle of this in my house, I think it would be the same. I think it would sit on the shelf. I'd maybe I'd pull it out for guests.
Yes.
And other than that, it would just sit there. Or I would mix. I would make mixed drinks with it.
Find a cocktail where I need something really quite almost like rye-like, but not quite rye. Something that's extreme and it's out there, a bit tannic. I need something really aromatic. Just a bit, like you would put fish oil in a curry, right?
That whiskey's maybe crying out to be mixed.
So you invited Roddy to come on to drink the whiskey you don't like. This has been the joke, Tim, from the beginning. Hey, Roddy, would you like to come over and drink all my crap? But believe me, that's not what's going to happen tonight. Well, after we have these kind of hopefully at some point interesting chats, I'll make sure that Roddy's looked after with some really nice whiskey too. So what was another stinky for you then?
So let's see, I think. All right, so shall we go to the blue one?
Blue, yes.
Which I haven't tasted yet. I've nosed it.
All right.
So this to me smells a little bit like a dish rag that you've used and then left, and you've not scrunched up so it doesn't dry out, so it goes a bit stinky. But that is not necessarily a bad thing,
right,
in whiskey, because it's, to me, that situation I've just described is kind of a neighbour to the sort of smells that I pick up when I'm in a dunnage warehouse.
Right.
Or sometimes you find smells like that in a whiskey that's been decades.
Sackcloth, sailcloth, hessian, all of those kind of dank, slightly
dank, yes.
fusty area of things.
So, and there's a honey thing going on as well. There's honey.
Aye, dark honey.
So depending on the flavour, this could be the ringer, the wee butte.
Okay. Right, I'm going to show everyone what we're sipping with the blue. I think I'm going to show everyone what we're sipping with the blue. Here we are. I'll let everyone just see what that is for a second. This was actually a gift to me from Sandy McDonald, somebody out in the community. But pink was also a gift to me from the community as well. So often where you get these oddballs from, people want to bring them to you. You say, these are odd. And so we can get rid of that.
So the honey comes through in the palate, and it's kind of creamy as well. It tastes like it's a higher strength. It's quite grippy, quite hot.
Yes. You getting any wood spice? You mentioned cedar on the last one. This is a warm wood, sandalwood, cedarwood.
Yeah, there's sweet oak in there. So I'm not really getting the dank thing, the dishcloth
on the palate.
Thing on the palate. So there's a wee disconnect there between the.
This is something that comes up a lot in discussions, and it came up on our podcast recently as well. How much one dram affects the next one that you're going to have.
Oh,
a dirty dram's going to clean up the next dram, right? A clean dram's going to dirty up the following dram, and that type of thing. It does affect that. But so a lot of people talk about how to set up a flight from kind of lightest low ABV, and we'll try and ramp it up to the higher ABV, the more aromatic, funky, smoky, intensely woody, or whatever it may be that gets it more extreme as you go up the flight. But honestly, we often get that wrong when we sit down and taste it, and we think, oh, we should maybe have done that in a different way. So it's nice when these steps contrast each other and actually can elevate and bring out things that you might not have noticed if it was a nice gradual gradient. Does that make sense? I don't know.
So I don't know what I think about this now. That slight disconnect between the nose and the palate. I like a whiskey when the palate reinforces what the nose is saying. When you get a little kind of a through line that kind of makes sense. And
I'm hesitant to express what I'm feeling about this whiskey because I don't want to lead you in a way. I'm enjoying how you're describing this. I mean, I think there's enough bizarro things going on here, but I wonder if it would take something like a sip of this or something else in order to bring it out. So leave a wee drop in. I mean, there's plenty more in the bottle, and I can pour it surreptitiously off screen. But it'd be interesting to see.
It's kind of having adjusted to it from the other one. There's kind of a treacly thing, when you said dark honey, so there's honey and then there's treacle underneath that. That's interesting.
Definitely treacle, dark. And there's a kind of treacle for me has always got this kind of burnt sugar quality, this charred sugar type, caramelized sugar. But it's a wee bit, golden syrup's a bit like that and things, but treacle's challenging, right? So there's people out there that don't know what treacle is. Is it the same as molasses?
No. The treacle is a little bit more refined than molasses. Because when I was wee, I would in the winter when I was staying with my granny, I would go and help my auntie and uncle to feed the beasts, feed the cattle, and you got turnip and chopped up turnip and straw and kind of a bit like kibble, but giant cow-sized kibble.
Yes.
And then you mixed in molasses with that. And molasses back then was much more pungent than treacle.
Right. Okay.
You know, it's a stronger flavour, or at least it was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And because molasses is it's the last stage of refining sugar, isn't it?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Treacle's a byproduct of sugar refinement,
but treacle's, you know, it's like a commercial product.
Yeah.
You know, for
use in baking and cooking and
consumer use.
Yeah.
So, in my experience, if you get something that says molasses, it's going to be a bit stinkier, a bit more flavoursome than treacle. You know,
I've always wondered that. I've always wondered if some countries and areas just their molasses was just our treacle, but
then
clearly.
The other thing is that treacle means a different thing in England than it does here.
Does it?
Because there's a lot of people in England, if you talk about treacle, that is what we would call golden syrup.
Is that right?
Aye.
But we buy it, so it's not a Scottish brand. We're getting sidetracked here. you know the brand. It used to have a dead line on it.
Tate and Lyle,
covered in flies, right?
Yeah.
And now they've turned it into a line that looks like Margaret Thatcher. You must have seen it, right?
I haven't seen the rebranding, no.
I've got it in the cupboard. Remind me as we finish the vPub tonight. So it used
yeah.
to have this bizarre logo that was a dead line with flies around it, right? Line on its side.
With the motto, out of the strong shall come forth sweetness.
That's right. That's right. And then they decided that wasn't cool. It probably wasn't cool.
I think it's a biblical reference, is it not?
I don't know.
Like a barfly will know this better than us.
Somebody will know it, yeah. Hillswood. And the legend is Roddy, sorry to leave the fun early, recovering from a migraine, so we'll need to rest my brain night, and I catch up on the fun on the replay. Oh, hells, get well soon, won't you, Hen? Let us know if Andy's hanging about with us. Maybe I'll need to go off and look after you. I hope you get well soon.
See, look, Fraser there, he's a Ouija. He's like, treacle's not the same as golden syrup.
No,
but
it's fair enough.
But it is Fraser in Englandshire, or at least it was when I was wee.
Treacle's in a red tin, but that's not the only difference.
Because when you opened the tin, it was different as well.
It's darker.
Yeah, it's black.
It's a bit more bitter, dare I say. It's sweet, but there's a bitter edge
because of the burnt note.
Yes, the burnt note in it. Yeah, weird one. But all that to say, the blue has a definite note of dark honey and treacle. So, I mean, we've got, this is either weird but moreish, life's too short, stupidly good, dense and tasty. Still too sharp and jaggy. It shouldn't exist as a single cask, and too much, just too much, is already gone. You've picked one.
Yeah, I'm committed.
Far away from.
No, it's definitely well within the whiskey spectrum.
Okay.
So
everything that's here tonight is in the whiskey spectrum. So when I say far away from whiskies, the flavour profile is far away from whiskey. That's what I should say.
I'm not going to commit to the blue one yet.
Okay.
Because I need to taste some of the others.
Which means your last of your three stinkies are?
The red one.
The red one. All right. So close your eyes tightly for 5 seconds and I'll share with everyone what the red one is. The reason I'm having to go very, very close to the screen to see these is that they're hidden out of sight from Roddy. So there you go. This is what the red one is. I want to comment on this. I'm so desperately wanting to comment on this. I'll just let you guys take that in. And that's what Roddy's sipping on just now. There you go, buddy. There's a reaction. What's really interesting that I'm doing tonight for the first time, I've been sipping these in the run up to this vPub, but not on a flight. So there is a marked change depending on, I think, the order that we're going to sip these in tonight.
I mean, you laid out an order and I immediately messed it up.
It's notional. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. There's no such thing as messing it up. But you immediately nose them, and this is the third of your stinkies. I don't, on the nose, I'm not getting a stinky from this.
So it's the, the colour was maybe steered me, but when I
really
nosed
dark,
it,
very dark.
it's very dark, and it smells like a sherry cask. that is. So I've got a kind of a sort of spectrum of sherry casks, or a list of sherry cask flavours, and right at the edge of what I like is where it's almost industrial, you know, for like sherry can almost smell, it reminds me of diesel or a workshop sometimes.
Yes. Okay.
Like a kind of mineral quality, you know, like mineral oil or something.
Okay.
That's what that was doing.
Okay. Okay.
But then
and do you think that that's got anything to do with the style of sherry or fortified wine that was previously in the cask, or the wood type?
So this would be specifically Oloroso.
Okay.
But to me, that's like, when I get that, that's usually a sign that it's a really good Oloroso cask.
Okay.
You know, what I would consider to be a really good.
Right on the edge of industrial.
Yeah, like because I think that's what makes a really good whiskey, that it's, you know, it's following the rules, it's using a good cask, but then that cask is pushing the limits of what is good. You know, there should be a tension.
Yeah, I understand.
Between the different flavors. So you want something that's, you know, it's easy for something to be sweet and lush and vanilla, but you know, like vanilla can be an insult. You know.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
So you've got a good sherry cask, American oak sherry cask, which has got loads of vanilla, and it's got all the dried fruit that you get from Oloroso. But then it's also got that little industrial thing, which ought not to be a good flavour in a drink.
But it brings the tension.
But yeah.
It brings the contrast.
Yeah,
it brings I get it. So you're enjoying this one?
I am. I think this is this one, right? You're stupidly good, dense and tasty. Still needs some time. Yep, isn't without its challenges. So the industrial thing, it's just good.
Okay. Are you ready to commit to that?
I am. Or maybe I should taste the others, but this is lovely.
Well, you would be committing on something.
I mean, he's left me multiple stickers, so I'm allowed to change my mind.
Actually, there are no rules because we're making it up as we go along. So yeah, you can absolutely change your mind. But you're going to put a red paperclip in that.
I've committed to red on stupidly good.
So I think everyone saw my description when I flashed it up on the screen there.
Okay. Right.
So they're either lying back sniggering, or they're getting down on their knees and down up down going Roddy. Like, but I mean, it's a crazy thing. It's not what he's actually trying to do here is not discover the whiskey. He's actually trying to discover what I might have said about the whiskey, which is a completely weird dynamic, right? Because we've been sipping together for a lot of years, but not so much that you know exactly what I would like and what I like, right? So let's get on to the non-stinky ones then.
Right. Okay. So
and you know, some of the topics I've put under here, like life's too short, we've touched on that. You know, one of these in front of you tonight is a whiskey that I deem, you said it's not worth using up your units for.
Yeah.
I mean, the type of whiskey, it's often made to be to a price point maybe, or it's made to just be as, I hesitate to use the word smooth in this context, but just almost like just a whiskey flavour. And once that point is reached, it's almost like that minimum marker is met, it gets bottled and it goes out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, lifestyle whiskies, like if whiskey's going through a boom phase, then it's a cool thing to drink, but you don't like the flavour of whiskey, so you find the lightest possible,
right?
The least whiskey-ish.
A lifestyle whiskey. It's an interesting way of looking at it. Absolutely.
Dare I say it? Hague Club.
Yes.
When it was rebranded.
Yes.
From
the blue bottle.
Cameron Bridge anyway, but then they came up with the Hague Club brand, and it's grain whiskey that's not very old, vanilla, and
literally a whiskey meant for folk that are not really into whiskey.
I think so.
Yeah. The crazy thing is that when it first came out, you remember it came out with that big bottle, the white bottle, and then they made it a smaller blue bottle, a wee square thing. There was one or two times that I sipped that and thought, I'm all right with this, because it was very honest. You know, it was very, David Beckham was the dude, and it was very kind of but obvious what it was. When it was first launched, it was expensive, but then they brought out a very, very cheap version of it. You could pick it up in the supermarket for 18 quid at one point.
Yeah.
which I feel was getting close to too cheap potentially. You know,
I mean, like I kind of took against it from the start because until they launched it, there was Cameron Brig,
which they discontinued.
Yeah, which was I'm sure was essentially the same thing in a
tall
tall
round.
round rather than a fancy blue bottle, and much cheaper.
Yes,
you know. So I was like, you can't drink the bottle. You know, why pay for a pricey bottle?
Yeah, lifestyle.
Yes, you're right. And David Beckham.
Yeah,
I don't even follow football when yet I know his name.
Yeah.
That's how insidious it is.
The Beckham brand, right? It's quite a thing. So what glass you've got yours in now? Orange.
I've got the orange.
All right, and I'll if you give me a 5-second eye shut, I'll bring the orange up on screen so that people can know what you're nosing right now. Let them take it in. I'll leave it up on screen just for a few seconds. Going to be interesting to see how this one lands this evening. All right, bud, it's clear for you.
Okay.
And it's not, like I say, Roddy's not been challenged here. This isn't a blind tasting. I just want him to go with the flavours rather than be led by the brand or any preconceptions you have of the brand or distillery or whatever it may be.
It's nice. It's quite sweet. It's vanilla. I'm
getting what I always get on this.
I get kind of like orange cream sweeties.
Yeah.
So the filling of an orange cream sweetie.
Okay, you're getting a lot sweeter. Imagine the pith of an orange.
Okay, right.
The bitter side of it. That's the finish for me. Goes there. It's extremely dry and bitter on the finish.
So it is drying out.
It arrives thick, as like really super thick on the palate, and then it just goes this weird kind of almost. I don't know what's causing this, but I suspect it's a very green oak cask that it's come from, where the oak has been really quite. Those tannins are quite raw, and
see, I'm not seeing that, Roy. The it's dry, but I'm not getting like a sawdusty thing or a fresh shavings.
No, I'm not getting that,
and I'm not really seeing the green thing either. It's the
so now it's pungent grapefruit on the finish.
Grapefruit,
really sharp, acidic, tart, tight. Grapefruit. I said orange pith, but I think that's even sweeter.
It's growing. The bitterness keeps growing.
Yeah, but just
it's pith, isn't it?
On the finish,
citrus pith.
On the finish. So you've got this kind of excitement with arrival because you've got this big, oily, gloopy, thick, creamy thing, and then it just mid palate just goes whoa, and just.
So the this has got of the 6 whiskies. This is the one that's the quietest on the nose. Is the least in to find in the nose, and then the attack has got that sweetness and orange fruit, and then it just dries out. I would, without having this another 2 I've not tasted yet, but I'm going to commit to the "Life's Too Short" label. Okay.
Well, it's good for you just to put a tack in it, and then if you've made your mind up, you've made your mind up.
But I've got spare stickers, so I can always change them. So
and by the way, if you run out of stickers on the desk, there's 1 million in the drawer.
So we'll say that life's too short for the orange whiskey.
Interesting. And bear in mind, this is not Roddy's opinion on the whiskey. It's what Roddy thinks I am choosing of the whiskey.
Well,
so you on the last 2, we haven't called you to say, is it a drinkable or an undrinkable to me? The orange and the red.
Right. The red one, I think I could drink all day long.
Okay.
I think. Oh, so that's a tick.
So you think that's a one of my drinkables?
Yes. Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay.
The orange, I think that's one of your undrinkables. So that's an X. Yeah.
Kate, I might have led him a wee bit there. Just to kind of get past my reaction to it. So, yeah. All right. So, where do you want to go now? There's only 2 more left to try.
So let's see. So
and then I can share with everyone what we're.
Right. So
you're going to
on the basis of nothing, I'm going green. So
all right.
So that's the green one, yeah.
Yeah. A quick turn away. Is that the right picture I'm going to bring up here? It's actually not the right picture, but it's a representative picture. Focus not on the bottle here, but on what the whiskey actually is. Few seconds to digest. And we'll bring it away. Green. Let's get our face into this thing.
Looking at the topics that are left, I'm starting to feel like I've boxed myself in here. It's because the blue one I wasn't sure about.
I think when you came out the traps, immediately I went, okay, this fits that description, and then you've just gone to start matching things up, and
it's that thing whenever you do a blind tasting that
I know
as soon as you start picking things, it narrows
when
down
the wheels,
your options.
the wheels
but
wobble.
then equally, if you don't narrow down your options, you've got this impossible.
Yeah.
If you've got 6 whiskies and you've got, let's see, 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2.
Oh, I think what I could do.
You've got 16 comparisons to make, 14 comparisons to make.
Is at some point I'll reveal to everyone what they all are on screen at the same time. But I think you and I could do a semi-blind here. I'm just working this out on ad hoc. I show you the bottles.
Okay.
And you'd be able to match them up.
Oh, jings.
I am pretty
confident.
I'm pretty confident you'd get 4 out of 6, 6 out of 6, that order. You can't get 5 out of 6. It's not impossible, right? But
if I put on my wizard Slankets,
you may be a Slanket could bring a 5 out of 6. And we'll just not talk about it
in a parallel universe.
Yeah. So,
again, I'm going to. So that's the blue and the green that I'm reserving judgment on because I'm not sure. So
fair enough. And then we're going to finish on the
yellow.
The yellow.
Yep.
So let me pull up for all of you guys watching along. What yellow is. Here we go. So you can see, I'm telling you, what the... I can't have to do that. What the whiskey is. The specs. What I'm calling it and how I feel about it. And obviously the colour and a representative picture of the bottle. So there we go. Aye. It's hard for me not to opine. I'm finding it difficult to bite my tongue.
That's okay.
But I think I should. Because what we're trying to get to here is the subjectivity of whiskey. For me, I've got Brussels sprouts in front of me. I definitely have. And you are sitting there quite happily eating your bowl of Brussels sprouts, right? And enjoying it. What's interesting for me is I am actively guiding people on whiskey and saying, oh, I really love this. This is good, And I think the more that they can understand what I like and what I don't like. And so the only way I can do that is drink with them or build up time and experiences with them. But I can also sit with people like you, people who are good at expressing, who are confident articulating what they're sipping, and then they can understand how I feel about whiskies a wee bit more. What I'm confident about tonight, though, as I sip these, is I can understand why they are in this position in my collection. So I was a bit nervous that I would be sipping these tonight and going, oh, do you know what? This is a belter, and I'm calling it out as being not as an undrinkable. But I understand exactly why I'm not going back to some of these, and it's making itself apparent tonight as it did earlier in the week, and it has in the past. Still got Slankets. Luckily, I don't think it's showing up on camera.
See, this is why you pre-test your slanket so that you shake out all the use.
Oh, no,
I was upstairs there trying out the
trialing it. Yeah, well, I like
your
to
kitchen
just,
will be full of oose.
oose. Is that a Scottish word? It's got to be a Scottish word.
I think it is. Oose, like little bits of fluff and dust.
Oose.
Aye.
I don't even know how to spell it. O-S-E?
That's how I'd spell it. Aye.
O-S-E.
Yeah, I think so. Aye.
Yeah.
Again, that's a job for barflies to.
Yeah, Scottish barflies. Apparently, I don't even know if I've ever seen oose written. I'm not sure, but there you go. I'm going to ask one of the Dramface writers to put it in their next review. Yeah, it tastes a bit like oose.
It tastes like oose. Well, funnily enough, I've never tasted oose. You see oose in your house, and you think, I'll just get that swept up. You don't think to yourself, I'm going to taste that.
That's right. We don't know what oose tastes like. I suspect that oose could be as varied as any wine, depending on the terroir and provenance of the oose.
I only nibble at aromatic oose.
Oh, yes. Oose from the finest dwellings. No grape pollution, says Frank Peathead. Oh, well, there's some grape pollution here tonight, big guy. Glenn Duncan is saying, I just saw a vPub titles Undrinkable Whiskey. I can nominate one. The Whiskey Royal Mail doesn't deliver. Lol, nice to see Roddy back too. That's true, Glenn. The whiskey. So Glenn Duncan tried to send me something, and I was sent on a wild goose chase with the Royal Mail to try and track down where it was. So you did the online tracker, and it said, oh, we don't have this yet. We don't have it yet. We don't have it yet. And then eventually I went to a depot that said, oh, we've got it, but it's at another depot. I went to the depot and they said, oh, no, we don't have it here. And I think it's get sent back because there's 40 quid's worth of customs to be paid on it. So we're living those times, don't we? It's just, indeed. Sorry, Glenn. And it's nice to see you in here, buddy. Good morning to you on your Friday down there in Australia. Jimmy Legg is saying you should have thrown a bracklet in there, for fun. I wouldn't do that to the big man. Unless it's the good one, maybe I would have done that. Andy Hills is saying truly awful stuff. The only whiskey we poured away. Oh, I don't want to drag. We won't talk about it. What time Andy was talking about there. It is oose, says Alistair McPhail. There's a man with a good Scots tongue in his head.
Yes,
so it's oose. O-S-E it is. It's forever so. Ben Demon Hunter is saying, I heard that Scottish people have 100 words to describe snow.
100 words for rain, maybe.
Aye, rain.
We don't get that much snow.
Snow, blizzard. that's it.
Yeah, there's more words for rain.
Rain.
So you get it's dreich, you get a smur.
Pishing. Stair rods.
Stair rods, aye. Battering down.
Aye. So 100 words for rain, Ben, I would say. Snow up north, they're troubled more, I think, by snow. Yeah. They've had it this year, but we haven't had much down in Glasgow this year. We've been kept fairly snow-free. So what we're saying about yellow, Roddy, give me your summary of yellow without looking at the categories, just... Where's your Scapa glass? Give me your Scapa glass.
Yikes.
I'm going to ask you to... you're only taking wee sips. I'm going to ask you to reset.
So, I think this is the kind of whiskey that I would really enjoy if I was reading a book. It's not a cerebral whiskey. It's not challenging. It's soft. I would happily use the S word about this whiskey.
No, I need you to say the S word. If I ever come across anyone being called out because they said smooth to describe a whiskey, I will defend them until there is bloodshed. We should not be robbed of any vocabulary to talk about what we're experiencing. And okay, if you've got somebody who's really experienced, they still have a space to use the word smooth because that is very, very specifically the word. It's not like just, oh, it's smooth because, that's what we're looking in for wine or whiskey or whatever it may be, or coffee. It's almost like snobbery, anti-snobbery nonsense.
The problem with with using the word smooth is the context, because
any word is that.
Well, yes, but specifically in terms of a long time selling booze, people who don't drink spirits find any 40% alcohol to be burny.
Absolutely.
You know,
Neat spirits is a big deal.
My own brother, who has an extensive whiskey collection, and he will go to whiskey events. The amount of water he pours into his drams, he just doesn't like.
Neat
40%, you know.
Yep, I get it. I do get it.
So people like that, when they say smooth, they just mean something that's
palatable
easy, and not burnt. Whereas, smooth in the context of all of us, who would happily drink cask strength whiskies neat, it means something different. It means that
the delivery,
the whiskey's not tannic. It's been matured for long enough that there's no jaggies in it anymore. The actual distillation process meant that the new make spirit was clean enough that there wouldn't be anything to catch in your throat. So that's why there's a hesitation.
So you start getting into all of these words to avoid smooth.
Yeah.
So you start to talk about, it's velvety, it's silky, it's soft, and you find all these other things rather than just being a contextually appropriate use of the word smooth. I once get called out for saying it's grassy as well, for not being specific enough on the variety of grass. It's like, this is just, we can't do this. We can't rob, if it's me and another geek at the same level as me, then maybe we're going to say, well, what kind of grass? Right? But in company where you're trying to encourage everybody to feel comfortable about expressing, you can't have words that are not on the table. No, you can't use that word.
You're right.
It's just, I feel quite protective about that. Often it's not the snobbery that's exuded; it's the snobbery that's perceived. Right? Anyway, that's a wee rant. Jason Harris is saying, I took your recommendation a few weeks back to try my Glenmorangie 12. Oh, then what's the rest of the sentence say? As an intro to ex-bourbon scotch. Loved it. What's next? Glencadam 10, Jason Harris. Go out and treat yourself to a bottle of Glencadam 10 or a Deanston 12. What would you recommend? Bourbon Cask official bottling, widely available.
After Glenmorangie
12. Because they've bumped the 10 up to 12 in the last year, haven't they? There's far less bourbon cask picks than you might imagine,
Maybe the Glasgow triple distilled.
Ooh, aye. Very, very, very light tropical fruits.
But, a lovely whiskey.
Yeah. Would you agree with the Glencadam?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You used to recommend to me a 40% Glenburgie 10 fruit from G&M, remember?
That was
long gone.
A long gone dram, sadly. Maybe something from Tom and Toole as well, like the Tom and Toole.
Well, the 14-year-old, interestingly, from Tom and Toole, excellent shout, is all bourbon cask, and it's one of the only official Tom and Tooles that's fully natural. 46 until filtered, they put it on the label. So Tom and Toole 14 is a brilliant shout. All bourbon cask as well. Let us know how you got on with it, and I'm glad that you were brave enough to go and give the 12-year-old Glenmorangie a punt as well. Good stuff. Master Chief Sea Chest, that's Mark. He's saying it's not a cerebral whiskey, it's a cerebellar whiskey. Oh, that's over my head.
Nah, that needs explaining. Sorry.
Oh, okay, I'm glad it's over yours as well.
What?
Cerebellar. Good to see you, Mark. Hope you're doing all right. Whiskey Weekend Drama is saying vanilla is okay, Aquavite, says Harrow. Well, vanilla is another one of these things. Like you say, vanilla can be used to be rude. But vanilla, when you taste vanilla, especially if it's very clear, very, a vanilla spike, it's really desirable. It's like, it's a nice thing. It's like,
especially
vanilla pod.
When you get that combination in a fresh bourbon barrel, especially grain whiskey, and you get the combination of vanilla and coconut, that's
absolutely, and all the things that can detract you with a grain is, some people also find bubblegum or candy floss or a thin palate and all of these things. But when you pick up things like that, for me, there's one up here on the shelf as well, and it's a Good Spirits Company bottle. And one night I'm sitting there and all I could taste was Lee's Snowballs macaroon. Not macaroon, but the snowballs specifically. So it's this really thin chocolate shell, right, with desiccated coconut on the outside. But I think the fondant inside is vanilla, right? So you're just I was drinking a Lee Snowball and very, very happy with it as well.
Sounds good to me.
It was your... It wasn't a North British 25. It was
We had an Invergordon.
Invergordon 25.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
A really kind of confectionery,
Yeah.
fondant cream.
That was a cask that was it was only like 100 bottles. So
Is that right?
something like that, I think so, yeah. So that it's one of these sort of slightly leaky casks.
51.4. That's it.
How
Yeah.
many bottles does it say? Oh no, I'm
273.
misremembering that. Okay. So the not to be trusted on numbers or statistics.
Not to be trusted on memory, but what's happening in the here and now? Spot on. Spot on.
Isn't vanilla the safest tasting note ever? Well, yes, it is. That's a good question. But
Smooth is safer than vanilla. But smooth is more than just a. Smooth is not a flavour. I suppose that's
yeah.
Bob, you're right. Vanilla could be, but there are times.
But then
if it's vanilla, you're not going. Why would you? It's silly to try and find something else to describe vanilla just because you don't feel like you should be using the word vanilla. Do you know what I mean? It's if you taste vanilla, say vanilla. But if you taste plain, something, just whiskey flavors, I think it's a misuse of vanilla because you're using vanilla in the negative way. It's plain, it's simple, it's straightforward. Vanilla spec, vanilla flavor. Anyway, so you on this yellow one, you're saying, I think your summary was, this is acceptable, something like that. Not challenging, not cerebral.
Which, unfortunately, this leads me to want to have to revise my selection.
As you're permitted to do,
because I've got the extra stickers. It's difficult.
Well, I think I've shared all of the colours that everyone knows.
So I'm gonna change. No, I'm doing that wrong. So life's too short.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that the yellow dram is life's too short. Just because I'm struggling to get much out of it.
All right. And this is also an undrinkable for
yes, I'd agree. It's still it still gets the X on the.
But you disagree with undrinkable because you'd like it's if you're sitting with a book, you said but you don't want distracted by the whiskey.
Yeah,
you want to be focused on the book or the place that you're in rather
it's
than
the context of
perfect
having a book, and there's something about the thing of sitting down with a book and you've got something to sit from time to time that which punctuates the paragraphs.
Yeah.
And it's just a way of relaxing.
Helps you melt into the book a little bit, focus.
It's nice and soothing.
But you're not being. It's not like some of the other whiskies here that's going. Oh
yes.
What's the plot, big man? Tell me. There are whiskies here that I defy you to be able to drink in polite company, and not be distracted by.
Yes.
Right. You would be constantly going. Whoa! You just by the boldness of the flavour. I'm trying to match, but I'm getting it wrong sometimes in the glasses that you're picking up.
It's because I'm bouncing back and forth a lot here.
It's what I love. And the other thing I love is that the vicarious drinking that I'm doing right now is sipping the whiskies and having you describe them and me not having to think too much. I'm usually on a vPub scratching about going, I need to say something about this. I need to find something. Because I don't think it's the greatest thing, but sometimes you have to just admit, this is quiet. I'm not getting a lot from this, and try and find another way to. But that's not happening tonight.
No, it's not.
There's lots of shouty things going on tonight.
But I have to say, Roy, I'm really stumped. So the three categories that I'm left with are weird but moreish, strange flavours but somehow interesting in its oddness. Still too sharp and jaggy, shouldn't exist as a single cask. And far away from whiskey. This is whiskey by definition, but maybe too huge a flavour departure.
What would you say is the furthest away from whiskey?
Out of blue, orange and green. Yeah, so thank you, that helped. So blue. Yeah, I'm going to commit now. So blue.
So I've got my wee legend written on the back of an unopened bill,
and I think I think that's an X as well. It's not a keeper.
Okay,
it's one of your no thank yous. So that leaves me with.
Have you got enough of this left?
Well, I mean, I've kind of committed to that.
I know, but at this, but you've locked that down, and you've not gone back for quite a wee while. So it's almost like you've just done that, and that was your opener, the pink, wasn't it?
It was.
So
are you saying I should revisit it?
I say you should have a wee sip of water, or even if actually no, you don't even need water for that.
So I'm 6 grams in, and this one's definitely a bit on the jaggy side, the green.
Okay.
So I'm going to say green is a jaggy, which means that if it's a single cask whiskey, as you're implying, that it maybe shouldn't have been bottled at whatever age it is.
Right, okay.
So that gives me... So that implies that... What did you say? There was 4.5?
Yes, I did say there were 4.5. By that, I should be clear. There is one that's fantastic. I believe it to be fantastic. I love it. And there is another one that is weird, but I am somehow compelled to keep going back to it, and I've grown to love it. And then that's the half. And then there's another 4 that are just kind of what I would consider languishing undrinkables on a shelf.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so that I'm very weird but moreish doesn't really fit the orange profile, which kind of implies that pink should be the weird but moreish. But I'm not sure that it even is moreish for me. I think that's a difference between us, that you find it moreish. And
I think this is exactly what I'm trying to get to.
Mm-hmm.
There's almost a thing that if you were able to just sit down here and say, and match mine exactly, we would be almost saying whiskies in some ways formulaic. There's obvious objective things. Whereas we know by the chats that we have at the Whiskey Club that are often, they never go into arguments, but they rise above chats because we go, no, my friend.
I think you'll find.
I think you'll find wrong. And but that's, of course, the brilliant thing about it is you can't ever be wrong. Because it's...
Well, no, you can, right?
You're going to go out and spend your money on your whiskey, and you're only going to do that on things that you enjoy. And when you hear someone else say, "Oh, I tried that and I didn't," and you're what? And then you talk to them and you taste it. Oh, well, it must be better than what I bought, what they like, and you taste it and you go, "What?" And then that's when the realization comes that you just do your thing.
Yeah.
Follow your nose, trust your experiences, and enjoy it. And don't worry about, because there are cool people, and there are people with crazy tastes, and there are people with, refined tastes and things. And you can start to, I think, follow the people rather than yourself and your own.
Yeah, and in the context of the Good Spirits Company, this is why when we are buying stuff, it's almost never down to just one person to taste things and decide, because we know that
to get as wide a
we want to have 2 or 3 people tasting something so that we can, and we know each other, so we know that for example, I'm biased towards any Royal Brackla that comes across the tasting table,
but surely you've not found that all the Royal Bracklas are good.
No. I mean, there's even
one Royal Brackla.
No. There has been some that I've rejected and bamboozled Shane and Matthew because they quite liked it. But for example, that my colleague Shane, he really doesn't like natural wines. The funkiness of them.
Yeah.
so that anytime he tastes a natural wine at an event, we have to discount, or not. I'm not involved in wine buying, but the wine buyers have to discount what he says
because Shane's looking for something much cleaner.
Yeah. And today we had somebody in with a spiced rum, and they'd gone with star anise, which I really liked, and Matthew as well. But those of us that were there were like, anise flavoured rum is commercially silly,
And here's an interesting thing about star anise. For me, star anise is a little bit like clove, but it's a bit more towards the fennel licorice side of the spectrum. Would you agree?
Yeah, no, it's this. I mean, most, it is those things exactly, and most people don't want a licorice flavoured liquid.
Otherwise, they'd buy ouzo or one of the.
Well, we sell a licorice vodka called salmiakki, which when Finnish people see it in the shop, they go all teary-eyed because it's so hard to get hold of outside of Finland.
Oh, really?
But you have to like licorice, So I guess to come back to what we're talking about, everybody's palate is different. So you have to, when you're doing something like this, you have to try and relate what you're thinking about the things to what the other person's doing. And to come back specifically to these 6,
process of elimination.
I'm left with weird but moreish for orange. And I don't really see that in it, I mean, clearly it's moreish because I've emptied the glass,
Right. Tell you what we'll do then. You have got at least one wrong.
Okay. Of course. Yes.
I'm going to show you what the bottles are.
Right.
I'm going to put the legend up on screen at times so that people can match the colours to what the bottles are. But I'm going to put the bottles up here, and I'm just going to put them on the table, and you can attempt a semi-blind matchup, because I think that it's not going to change about what you felt about these whiskies, but I think it might make you go, ooh, put myself in Roy's slippers, fancy Crocs, right? I think that this is that might make me change it a wee bit, right? So what we're doing nothing here that's objective or fun, or it's just trying to just basic. I don't know if it's how much you know Roy. What I know Roy thinks about things. Anyway, okay. In no particular order, I'm going to pick out this. This is Prieto y Prieta, which I think in Spanish, I tried to look this up because I speak a wee bit of Spanish, but these were words that I think it can be used as a derogatory term to talk about skin color, but this is not what it is in this context, I don't think. This is Mexican corn whiskey, 43% ABV. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this was a gift from Big Carlos, Mexican Carlos, who's gifted me some fantastic things, some wonderfully tasty Abasolo Mexican whiskies and things. I think he maybe donated this at one of the tastings. And I think he deliberately brought it along because he thought, ooh, this is different. Okay. So we have a Mexican corn whiskey, 43% ABV, Prieto y Prieta. Then we have, this is a 2021 release of Aber Falls Welsh single malt whiskey. So we're on the British Isles here. This is a 40% ABV whiskey, typically sold through supermarkets. I think this is one of these price point whiskies, in my opinion. Like I say, this is one of the early editions, one of the first ones that came out, 2021 release. 25 or less quids. Then we've got an Auchentoshan from Lewis.
Wow.
This is a cask strength Auchentoshan. Specifically, though, this is a different version of their cask strength. There's a 10-year-old version of this. This is not it. This is the Madeira cask. You can see hand labeled, hand bottled, 63% ABV, single malt whiskey from Auchentoshan, a tiny wee distillery up there in Lewis. Then we have a cage bottle. We have a cage bottling And this has got my name on it, but it was actually a gift to me from Peter and Denise. Peter and Denise got me this 8-year-old ex-bourbon, fresh bourbon, Hazelburn from the Cage, 55.6% ABV. I'll pop that in the lineup. It's not interfering with the shot at all. E finalmente, no, not quite. Almost last, we've got an Annandale. This is Man o' Words. Okay, so they have this branding here. You can see the S is here in gold leaves for Man o' Sword, but the Man o' Sword is peated. This is Man o' Words, which is unpeated, and they're bottling cask by cask by cask, so they put wee stickers on it to let you know to keep track. And this is a 60.6% ABV ex-bourbon cask number 96, 2016 to 2022. So we know it's 5-6 years old at the most. A wee Annandale bottle there, single malt from Annandale. Finalmente, the final bottle is an artists collective. I think it's kind of La Maison Du in flavour, but it's not La Maison Du, but it is an Auchentoshan 13-year-old. This is an expensive Auchie. This is 120 sheets. This cost me. So I'll pop that there. And that's amazing that they're all pretty much out of shot. But you can see them clearly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you've got enough wee sticky dots left.
To put dots on the bottles?
Yes.
Yikes.
If you need me to top any glasses up, I'm happy to do that. You just burtle and look at the vista behind you, and I'll top up any glasses that you need a wee bit more in.
I've got the stickers here. Right. So I think the easy one is the Auchentoshan.
Purely based on colour. This is how you do a blind. Colour first. If it doesn't give you the clues away, ABV next. These are the two most obvious things to do a semi-blind matchup in a blind. Strength.
Do you remember we did a vPub once where
You're sipping red, right?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Where I bamboozled you by bringing a extremely good Auchentoshan, which was one that we'd bottled. The shop, I mean.
I think it's one of the more recent vPubs. It wasn't maybe the last one, but maybe the one just before. I think could be. It's sitting here.
Yeah, it was a 22-year-old that was quite lush.
But I loved it, I think.
Well, but you were also very surprised to find that it was Auchentoshan, because Auchentoshan, a bit like Bowmore, is one of these ones that a lot of the
doesn't best represent what they actually make.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They're not selecting casks and the blend makeup for expressions that we, the whiskey community, the activists, the vPub, the barflies, are interested in.
Yes.
You know, they're blending for travel retail,
etc.,
Yeah.
mass market
Yeah.
type products, and they're also blending to a price point, I believe, as well. Which is a different thing altogether. When you blend to a price point, I think it takes it beyond making this whiskey as accessible and as nice as it can be, and all these justifications we have for 40%, etc. I think it's often to a price point. No matter, it's not what we're here to discuss tonight. I do have an interesting Auchentoshan. This is my lowland section, as you know.
Sauv Blanc.
Yeah, and this was encouraged for us to freeze the thing. You know, the idea was that we put it in our freezer
And make cocktails with it.
Yeah, if I try and get it to block out your faces, it'll focus. Sauvignon Blanc is 47% ABV alcohol, but that doesn't mean it's non-chill filtered. It's just higher ABV. And I have to say, that's an interesting wee whiskey. It's not brilliant, but it's a better
I did not
representation.
like it.
You didn't like it?
No, I did not like it.
Yeah. So Roddy's put a red on the Auchentoshan, and he's just stuck a blue
on the
Avengeric. Yeah. Close your eyes, fella, just for a wee second, and I'll just pull this up so that you can see how he's getting on so far. So it's a list with the colours next to them. All right, big guy, let's see what you can do.
Okay, so yellow. What did I say for yellow?
Gav's Drams is
Life.
saying good night. Good night, big guy. It was nice to have you in, Gav. It's always brilliant to have you here. Jimmy Legacy, and how far does Roddy live from Mount Vernon? Is he walking? No, I'll make sure you get a luxurious XL limo Uber home tonight. But by that I mean whichever one will come.
XL. What are you saying?
No,
XL.
Whatever one is nearby. Alan Smith is saying, I like that whiskey activists. Aye, aye.
Well, we are so like we bother people about it. Well, somebody asks us for a recommendation and we give them 10 that they can only find by going to specialists in Glasgow or Edinburgh or London or Aberdeen. Or we say, well, somebody asks for a whiskey that's the next step up from Glenfiddich, and we're like, well, maybe you should try something that's from a distillery that has worm tubs, because that gives a bit more weight to the whiskey. And then the person that's asked, I just wanted a bottle of whiskey. Why are you talking about worms?
What kind of whiskey activist are you? Exactly.
So I've put yellow on the Aber Falls.
Okay, yellow and Aber Falls. And there's a wee shout for Gary Field, who was talking about Whiskey Craft's 20-year-old Auchentoshan. I bought this and I thought it was good. I can understand why people are raving about this. But I wonder how much of it is about them just being surprised how good Auchentoshan can be.
So we stock that because it's the thing of
Glasgow distillery as well.
Well, but also the thing of Auchentoshan can be great if it's not messed about. It's a triple distilled spirit, so you need
diluted, neutered, overly emulsified.
You need casks that are not too active. The going back 20 years, the classic with the kind of pentagonal label.
Yes,
which was refill bourbon barrels.
Yes, I have some. But I don't have any refill bourbon, but there are some. And some of these old. I'm not going to go down for
it. It certainly tasted as if it was mainly refill barrels, and you could taste the spirit character.
Yes.
And then they were like, you know what, we're going to whack it in sherry casks.
Yeah.
And then it could be any whiskey.
Yeah, and the sherry, and then we're just going to make sure, in case people don't understand it, we've whacked it in sherry casks. We're going to add a hell of a lot of colour to send it home that it's been in a sherry cask. Anyway, we're not here to beat up Auchentoshan because we love the distillery. We both do. What we're here to draw attention to potentially is how it's handled after it's been made. Anyway, we've now got a blue on the Abhainn, a red on the Auchie, and a yellow on the Aber Falls. So we've got 3 left to do.
So I think pink is the corn whiskey. So then
you're left between then Annandale and Kilkerran. Which is the only 2 that's left then is orange and green, am I right? The same as you?
Yep. So I'm going to say green for Hazelburn, and that leaves orange.
I said Kilkerran. It's a Hazelburn. My mistake.
Shocking.
Now, I picked Hazelburn for a very specific reason. I hope you don't mind.
Because I don't like it.
I wasn't going to go as far to say that you don't like it. It's your least preferred of the Springbank trio.
Yes, that's true. I'm often left in the company of people who are wildly enthusiastic about Hazelburn. I'm left going,
this.
Right,
this is what I want to talk about. So this was one of my whiskies of last year. I from the moment that I opened it, no neck pour nonsense, nothing. I loved the first pour, but I didn't realize how much I loved it. I just knew I liked it. By the time I got this down to the shoulder, I'm like, this is absolutely brilliant. I'm going to need to be precious with this.
And I've picked this as still
jaggy.
Yes, jaggy shouldn't exist as a single cask.
Yeah. But that's because you found yourself backed into a corner at that time, I think. And you were forced to. Sorry, I don't mean to lead you now, because I think what I need to do now is that now that you've got it laid out like this, haven't you? So we now want to ask you: do you want to change any of these colours round before I reveal to you
So let's see now. So we've got Life's Too Short for Aber Falls.
Right. I don't know how to put this up on the screen without you seeing it. I think I can. Close your eyes for literally 2 seconds, and I can put it up here, and then I can go on to a different screen, and I'll switch back again. So you can't see anything now. Go ahead.
Right. Okay.
But the people watching, I think, can see it. Yes, they can. So continue.
So Aber Falls, Life's Too Short. I would stick with that. I don't,
Aber Falls, yellow,
super,
Life's Too Short.
Yeah, supermarket whiskey. Too much, just too much. I'm not so sure about that, but
Let's see what your options are.
Yeah, the Auchentoshan, Far Away from Whiskey. I'm sticking with that. I've
Okay.
always thought Auchentoshan was weird. The Hazelburn, still too sharp and jaggy. Still, yep. I've never been as positive about Annandale in the past, so that's weird but moreish. Like Annandale, I've always thought, it was an interesting archaeology project, and then they've ended up with a distillery that they have to run, but they're not really into whiskey. They're not talking to us.
They're not listening to us.
No, they're making whiskey, but it's for investors or tourists.
Churn.
Yep. And it's definitely not a vPub.
The problem is that because of their single cask policy, when you do happen upon one that's a peach, you can't start recommending it.
No.
Anyway,
and then this is, now that I know that this is Auchentoshan, it's clearly the cask that's doing the work, but it's a really good cask.
Okay.
It's hiding the spirit character, but in a good way.
Okay.
Do you hate this and I get to take this home?
So Roddy,
I wish.
Roddy has gone for yellow, Aber Falls, Life's Too Short. He's gone pink, Prieto, the Mexican corn whiskey, just too much. Blue, Auchentoshan, Far Away from Whiskey. The Hazelburn, he's gone for still too jaggy, green. Sorry, the Auchentoshan is blue. You've gone for blue.
Yes.
On the Annandale, you've gone orange.
Mm-hmm.
You've suggested it's weird, but moreish. And on the Auchentoshan, you've gone for pink, which is stupidly good, dense, and tasty. Okay, so the good news or the bad news?
0 out of 6.
The good news is that on a semi-blind matchup for the whiskies, you have scored 6 for 6.
No way.
Put the glass down.
Bloody hell.
6 for 6.
That's wow. That's
the bad news that's actually easy for me to twist into good news is that, of course, you disagree with. There are objective things happening in front of us here. Life's too short for the way I've described a vanilla mass market whiskey made to a price point. It could only be a yellow Aber Falls. I think that too much, just too much. I can see why you've described that as that. Far Away from Whiskey, I understand. The jaggy for that. The point of this Hazelburn is because I knew how you felt about it, but also couldn't put a peach. I couldn't put a 1995 Klein Leash in there. It would just be obvious. I needed something that was a little bit edgy, but something that was still potentially could be other things in the lineup. The Annandale Orange, you're saying it's weird but moreish, and of course you've described what you think about the Auchentoshan. So now I'll leave that up on screen so people can see. You glorify, just enjoy the emoji that's lighting up the chat right now. The Roddy emoji's coming up But now what I need you to try and do is rather than pick 4 Undrinkables, pick the 2 in this lineup that I either think is, where's my descriptions here, stupidly good, dense and tasty, weird but moreish. Because right now you're saying that it's the Auchentoshan and the Annandale for me. Do you want to stick with that, or do you want to?
Well, but you've given the game away by, you said this was one of your whiskies of the year.
But I said it before you put that green. back, and you stuck with the green.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, the description of the green, the too sharp and jaggy.
Mm-hmm.
So there's what's if that is if I've given the game away in that one, what's the weird but moreish one then? Would you say?
Okay. I think that would be your weird but moreish.
The Mexican corn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, here they're coming up now. So Hazelburn, as you knew already, but also the Avhainn.
Really?
The levels betray the enjoyment of the bottle.
Really?
Really?
I have never had an Abhainn that I thought I'm going to top my glass up. Not once.
This is okay. I think it's important to differentiate. Top my glass up? In the mood for it? Yes. This is a funky, intense, crazy, weird, and yet somehow, and I don't know if it's the Madeira cask or the age or just the cask. I don't know what it is about that, but there's something that makes me continue to go back to it. So blue, you are absolutely spot on. You get 6 out of 6. But this wee Avhainn has become a wee pal of mine. It is utterly unique. For me, it's like pencil case and soft spice. I said sandalwood and cedarwood, I think earlier, but pencil case, the wood shaving, the soft wood shaving, sanded wood, warm wood.
No, I see that.
Wood tones, wood notes, soft kitchen spices. There's a weird note to it that's difficult, and it's always just a wee bit out of reach. I'm never quite nailing it down. But this is my weird but moreish.
That's interesting.
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted, was it for it to be interesting.
You know,
one man's treasure.
I have some Avhainn in the house that somebody gave me, a wee sample.
Yes.
Well over a year ago, and funnily enough, it's never come to the point of going into the glass. I'm going to have to remedy that.
We try, and it's not because is it because of a preconceived idea?
So, when the shop opened, Abhainn had launched their
3-year-old or something. It was.
Well, they had a launch on Lewis, and then they brought a wee firkin or something to Glasgow and had a launch event in McSorley's.
Yes.
Which I went along to, and I was like, why am I drinking grappa?
Yeah.
You know,
raw.
Yeah. We had some in the shop, and they'd given us tasting stock.
No offense to grappa and grappa producers.
Well, no, but I like grappa. You know, when it comes to grappa.
But when you want a glass of grappa, you order a glass of grappa. When you want a glass of whiskey, you expect a glass of whiskey.
Yes. And we persisted with it for maybe 3 or 4 years, different expressions, and then just because if you would pour it for people and they'd be like, oh no, don't want it.
Yes.
And I guess it's what you're saying. It's off the spectrum of Scotch, you know, which means commercially, you know, it's a hard sell, you know, and
high ABVs always the one with high ABVs as well.
You know, like kudos to Mark for continuing to
is he still making
okay? So I don't know. Somebody, who was it?
I know somebody that made a pilgrimage.
I know late last year. I think they were talking to maybe both of us.
They went and they literally tried to knock on the doors, and it was all not.
But who was it then? Because they said, because we've
already established you're the fella with the memory. So I'm so sorry.
No,
whoever it was, I'm so sorry.
I mean, I hope they're still working.
Yeah,
you know, because it's a great thing to be doing. The homemade still, you know,
basically whiskey from a barn, right?
Ploughing your own furrow.
Yep.
But from a commercial point of view, you know,
difficult,
awfully hard.
Yeah,
awfully hard.
Yep. I mean, I think that I think I've apologised. Sandy handed me this as a gift at an event, and my reaction, I think, was horrible. Right? It's just, and I feel really bad every time I think about it. Sandy's a fantastic guy, and I went, oh, Avhainn, and he went, look. He just said, it was sealed. It wasn't opened. It got opened at the event. It got taken down to the shoulder, I suppose, and came back with some other bottles for me. And I got to try it in quiet contemplation. And I went, I don't hate this, right? And it built from there.
And here you are,
Yeah. And I have to say, the majority of my bottles are not me drinking. The levels are through hopefully sharing most of it. But that level is, because I pour it for somebody and they're like, you can have that back. And I'm just sitting here going, really, you don't like this? Do you not taste it? And I'm hoping that somebody can taste some of the things that I'm struggling to put a label on.
I'm going to have to revisit it though, because that's interesting.
Well, that in itself is interesting. The only thing it's left for me to do is to explain why I've given them the titles that I have.
Right. Okay.
Right, and that's stupidly good, dense and tasty is that Hazelburn for me. It's not just because it's Springbank. It's not just because it's bourbon cask. It's just the way it hits. It's just the way it's got. In 1 minute it's wet leaves. The next minute it's floral, almost like a spritz kind of element to it. And then the next minute you're back in. Because I know it's Hazelburn, but I can taste some of the characteristics that make Springbank what Springbank is.
I just don't get it.
Lemon.
I'm Hazelburn blind or something.
Lemon, intense lemon. It's concentrated lemon. Really, it's bright. I could continue in the fruit, but I guarantee I'm probably going to go down yellow fruits. Hayloft, hamster cage. Not star anise, but maybe a clovey thing. Something slightly acidic and sharp on the finish, like a spike of just before it leaves. It just gives you this flash of something. It's just been an absolute gem of a bottle for me. So sorry, that's me raving about it, but it's just a blinder of a whiskey. And I think it's excellent for you to be sitting here going, really? Because it attenuates my hyper passion for something that I've clearly got a hook with.
Yeah, I get pelters from many people about liking Brackla, and I guess this is the inverse of that, many other people don't understand why I can be.
But it's not really because it's not like you're just going to like every Brackla. I think you're still being fairly objective and trying to work out if you like them or not. You didn't take to that when you didn't know what it was. Okay, so it's not like you've come to that and gone and then suddenly it's Hazelburn and you're like, oh well, I don't like that. You weren't gelling with it when you didn't know what it was. So there is a consistency there, continuity, I think. Stupidly good, dense and tasty. That's what that was. So still too sharp, jaggy. For me, was that Annandale.
Right.
That's a brilliant whiskey on arrival. And then it hits the development and it asks questions that it just can't answer as it leaves. As it goes out, how could somebody have tasted that and went, this is going to be a perfect single cask when it's clearly a component for a vatting or a blend? That's what that should be. It's got weight and heft and oiliness and fat to it, but there's an acidic sharpness to that that's like the Brussels sprout acrid note, and I can't taste past it. I can't contrast it with other things and suddenly cancel out that flavour for me. It's going to catch me, I think, every time. So that was these two. They got confused the wrong way around. Weird, a bit moreish. It's clearly the Abhainn for me, for reasons that we've already discussed. Life's too short, for reasons that we've already discussed on the Aber Falls. I think you picked that one out, no problem at all. Too much, just too much. What is that? The Auchentoshan? 120 sheets that cost me. And I opened it and I was like, this is a neck pour issue. I think I opened it live on a vPub.
Okay, so the price,
you don't care about price.
I'm not considering price.
You had no idea
I didn't know the price.
That's right.
So yeah. Okay.
So I go into this and I think, and I'm sipping, but you've loved that tonight. You've found this to be close to that edge. You talked about that minerality to industrial to creep. You've got that. If I look on Whiskey Base, there's loads more Roddys than there are Roys.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, I never in a million years would I have come close to saying that was an Auchentoshan. So, I'd have been all over Speyside.
Yeah.
there's any number of space. Like, I think that, you know, you could persuade people that was Dalhousie, and they'd be like, sure, you know. You could say to people, you know, that's a maybe not Glenmurray, but you could maybe even say it was a Linkwood, and people would believe you. You know,
I think the cask. That's
you looked very sceptical when I said Dalhousie.
Yeah, well, I think there's this is a little bit kind of light and a bit more ethereal. Dalhousie's got a bit of kind of you know, a bit of I don't know. It's just typical, but Linkwood, I'll buy that. Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
I think that for me that is just a story of the cask.
Yeah.
100% the story of the cask. You mentioned this. You talked about this. You said that it's probably masking the whiskey, the distillery, whatever a distillery character may be in a modern concept, right? But Auchentoshan is a character, I think. So yeah, that was the way too much for me. That's all about the wood, and I can understand why they've made it such, because there are people that like the story to be all about the wood, dark whiskey and that kind of thing. And for me, far away from whiskey was the corn whiskey. It tastes like a different spirit category altogether, and arguably it is because it's made from corn, whereas everything else from here is made from barley. So it is a different category, but it's still whiskey by name and nature and definition and everything. But that is, I will confess one thing. I've enjoyed it tonight more than I've enjoyed it any time that I've been drinking it before, but it's probably the company, big guy.
or the flight.
Maybe that. But as I went back to it because I think you suggested that it was weirdly Moorish, and I liked it. And it's kind of funny that it was moving into that direction, that spectrum for me. Yeah, so there we go. I think the summary is like I started to say earlier, talking about one man's trash, another man's treasure, or is it one man's treasures, another man's trash? I don't know which way it goes, but you know the story is that, and this is the thing about whiskey, especially when you have somebody here that's banging his gums every week critiquing whiskey, right? This is good, this is bad, this is somewhere in between. I think there's so much more nuance and subtlety and subjectivity to everything. The only solution to it, because there isn't a solution, is to try and track the people that, by all means, please still hang out here, even if you disagree with my preferences and things. I don't want you to go away, but it's nice if you find people that have similar tastes to you. I think I can rely on Scotty Monroe for a lot of things. We have very similar preferences, whereas Sevy, when Sevy's raving about something, if it's kind of a bourbon cask or something, it's probably going to be a cracker. But if he's raving about something that's this color, I'm going to want to try before I buy, because I know Sevy's tastes. He loves the extremes. He loves the things that gives him a shake. You know, he loves the weird and the challenging, and that makes sense. You know why people like things. So
that's the to reinforce what you're saying. If Julie at the club is raving about a Glentochers or a Glenburgie, then I know they're going to be good. You know, I disagree with her on other things, but with those two, if she says it's a good one, then I know I should be getting them.
But you've named the two Uber fruit space enders, right?
Yeah.
And once it's labelled, once we get, oh, that's lovely. Why do I love this? Because of how much fruit is packed into it. And then you learn it's Glentochers or Glenburgie, You're like, oh, okay. But it's usually from a bourbon cask or refill cask, right?
Yeah.
And that can be lost if you put it in one of these these casks. Yeah. Fascinating. Roddy, 6 out of 6 though. At the semi-blind, I knew he would nail it. So I mean, like I say, this was not about a blind challenge. It was about I mean, I felt like you would agree with some of the, and I think one or two you have agreed with me, but generally it's nice to see direct switches there.
Aye.
I mean, it's just flipped.
But then you knew by putting a Hazelburn in that I was going to be much less positive.
There was thought put into it, and it was not to trip you up in any way. But it's for me, I'm going to need to put something in there that I love that Roddy might find challenging. Because like I said, if I put something in pure that's fantastic, Roddy's going to pick it out like a naked man with his hair on fire, right? It's going to be obvious. So, sorry, naked men with burning hair.
I wasn't quite sure about the scenario there. Right.
So let me pour you something. in a fresh glass before we get into the quiz at the end. The great thing about people appearing behind the bar with me is I don't need to ask them, please stay for the quiz at the end.
Unless, I remember I brought a dram.
Oh, yes. Yes. Sorry, yeah. By all means, there's 2 clean glasses.
So if you want to...
Shut my eyes.
Because I
shall try to... We have similar preferences, but I hang around here anyway, and Sevi is obviously bananas, says Jimmy Legg. It's always Jimmy's comments that I catch. Rafa Rutka, I think that's your name, Rafa, is it, Rafa? Good night and good luck, Aquaviti and Roddy and the Barflies. Good night, big guy. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
I'm going to point this at the camera, so...
Okay, I shall turn far away.
Yeah, see if I can do this focus thing.
Enjoy the gamification of it.
Right.
Alrighty. So, pour away off the screen.
So the point about me pouring this, and I'm off the screen just now, I don't know if the microphone's picking me up.
It should be, yes.
So oh, jings, that's a massive measure I've poured.
For yourself?
Do you want to even them up a bit, Roy?
No. They look perfectly even to me, big guy.
So I was saying to Roy before we started tonight that this is a whiskey that I bought 3 years ago, I think, and it sat, and it absolutely should not have sat, because this is a whiskey I've had many, many times over the years. I'm going to give a massive clue, which Roy will probably pick up on.
I could stick my fingers in my ears and hum.
This is the whiskey that got me into whiskey. So, like, there should be no reason for this whiskey to be an undrinkable in my whiskey cabinet. But somehow I bought it 2 and a half years ago, and it's just sat. And I think it's to do with, it's a slight tangent to Roy's theme tonight, but it's to say that, we're all exploring whiskey, but sometimes you ought to come back to the things that actually gave you the spark in the first place. There's bottles that are sitting there, and maybe you should look at them and think, actually, I should just crack that on a Tuesday night.
Have you cracked this tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
I just opened it tonight after.
So you've no idea what this tastes like?
Well, I do, because it's a batch product, but it's one that's been running for a long time, so it's fairly consistent batch to batch.
Okay.
The Barflies saw the capsule.
Okay, I think I'm a wee bit adrift then. I thought, in nosing this, I thought I might be in the right direction. By the way, I have no recollection of the whiskey that got you into whiskey. And I feel like you've told me, but I just don't remember what it is.
It's something I bang on about quite regularly. Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely off-piste here. It was very floral when I nosed it at first. Very floral. To the point where I was getting kind of purple flowers and stuff. And sometimes when I get that, it kind of brings me... I'm going to go even one further. It's this, when you talk about vanilla being sometimes rude, there's another thing that you could have to be very careful. Parma violets.
I mean, I'd give you that, for sure.
But if you talk about it, especially if you nose a new make and get Parma violets on new make, you can offend the distiller, because it's often Parma violets is a note that, and I don't know what specific part of the production process is produced by that Parma violet note. But I think it's a lavender floral note, slightly saccharine and that type of thing. This has got quite a floral bouquet of a nose, right? I'm tempted. Is this bourbon cask? Or is it a vatting?
No, it is bourbon barrels.
It's bourbon, yeah. Cheers, chap. Thank you for opening it. It's not typical. It's a wee bit off-piste. It is. It's the floral thing is still there. It's high ABV cask strength.
Yes.
I think this is definitely Scotch whiskey.
Yes.
But it's a wee bit one of the periphery brands of Scotch whiskey. Right down the middle. But this is not a typical example of it then.
It's a core product. Has a royal warrant. How do we control this? There was a comment somebody made there. Not very good at controlling this.
But it wasn't Royal Brackley that got you into whiskey.
No, it wasn't, no.
And I don't even know if Royal Brackley's got a royal warrant, because a royal warrant is not the same as calling yourself royal, right?
A royal warrant, it comes from the living monarch. So,
yeah. Laphroaig,
yes,
as an example.
Yeah.
This is not a bloody Laphroaig.
It is.
You're kidding on. Which batch is this? 14?
14.
Oh my goodness me.
How do we do the thing?
How do we talk about sorry, I was going to get up and get another glass there. Let's do it so it doesn't see your face. Laphroaig 14.
But the point is that this, not this batch, but this is the whiskey that got me to sit up and pay attention 30 years ago.
I should be paying attention to you, because I'm sure you've told me that story. I was in Bamor.
I bought this whenever it was, and it's just sat there, which is, like...
Well, 14 is going to be...
My foundational whiskey ought to be something that's always open, shouldn't it?
The one that's on discount, large volume, it's 2022, I think, batch 16.
I don't know.
So this will be 2020, something like that.
June 21, there we are.
June 2021. And what's the ABV? 58.6. Wow. So what I should be getting from this is medicine cabinets and elastoplasts and bloody peat smoke by the bucket.
It's calamine lotion for me. So calamine lotion is...
wintergreen.
Yeah.
Which is root beer-ish.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
And germaline.
Mm-hmm. The point is, we need to remember the things that excite us about whiskey, that got us into it. That, how have I got this, one of the all-star
10-year-old cask strength. This is a bottle that we couldn't buy unless we visited a distillery in the UK market, remember? It wasn't until COVID that this became a domestically available product. You could buy it if it was an export, they exported it. But if we wanted 10-year-old Laphroaig cask strength in the UK, we had to visit a distillery, right?
Not 30 years ago. I think it might have been, delivery was a bit different then, but that I was 30 odd, and somebody bought that for my birthday. And all of a sudden I was like, whiskey makes sense.
Okay.
I'd drunk whiskey since I was 18 or whatever, and I was like, fine, I'd rather have a beer. And then this came along, and I was like, ding.
Now I'm nervous to pour what I was going to pour for you.
Well, I've kind of messed with your palate by pouring Laphroaig, the most strongly flavoured of all whiskies, haven't I? I'm sorry.
In that case, we've got a perfect excuse. If the tasting goes haywire. This is we'll get straight on to the listen. I'm apologising, but I shouldn't apologise. The Roddy vPubs are always going to be a wee bit like this,
chaotic.
And wherever it goes, like I say, if we start scripting vPubs, then that's not fun anymore. So hide yourself away, please. I know that you caught a wee slight glance at that, but there's no way you're going to know what it is. I'm going to pour this as a wee thank you, because this is some of the most precious liquid that exists for a very, very different reason. I don't want to lead you, but I would like. I have been enjoying immensely the reactions that I've had to this. So as much as anything, I'm going into this on the back of the Laphroaig as you are tonight. I'm going to go into this with you. with the same kind of. Yeah, we always have to coat the glass. Do you ever get the cupboard nose from the glass? If you take a clean glass out the wooden cupboard.
Oh yeah.
You smell the
wood.
A good shake of the empty glass will help a lot.
If I'm organised, the glasses come out half an hour before I'm going to drink.
Well, these have been out here for the entire duration of the vPub, but I got a wee nose of the cupboard there. So it's funny how I get a nose of my cupboard, but I couldn't smell smoke on that bloody Laphroaig.
I was trying to find it, but you were being gently mocked about your peat blindness somewhere in the chat.
I don't worry, I am immune these days. My wings are like a shield of steel. Phil and Simon Thompson said if we ever do a bottom together, I'm getting you walking into a bonfire with a blind stick in front of you and a pair of sunglasses, right? which is perfect. But the thing is that I can either fake that, right, and find ways. How can you fake it? I don't know. But you know what I'm saying is just pretend that it doesn't happen or talk about it. Because the amount of times I've sat with people and said, "You're not getting peat from that," and they're going, "Oh no, I'm not sure I'm getting peat." And it's a scenario similar to this. So I know that it happens to other people, maybe not as much as it does to me. But I've got a 20-year-old Lagavulin up there that I've enjoyed immensely over Christmas time, and I've forgotten. I mean, a Lagavulin can be the most big bruiser elegance that exists. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely elegant, and yet it's all the flavours that you put it in front of somebody that's just drinking whiskey for the first time. It would be extreme. But there's an elegance to it. And there's a wee dregs of a 20-year-old up there that's over Christmas. It was just sublime. And I could not taste any peat smoke on it whatsoever. And I was putting it in front of the family and they're all going, "Oh my goodness, it's that barbecue. What are you talking about, Dad?" But I know that I could put it under the nose of some of my whiskey pals and they might find the smoke much more subtle.
Lagavulin is the Tom Hardy of whiskies. An elegant bruiser.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But the elegance side it's hard to explain why it's elegant, and yet its image, its aura of drinking it is elegance.
That's oh man.
What do you think of this? Before we go on,
let's focus on the whiskey. No, you're right.
I like the Tom Hardy chat. But
there's Oscar Wilde said something about if people are aware that you're being elegant, then you've failed. I'm mangling it. But the point about elegance,
deliberate elegance, is not very elegant.
It should be ineffable.
Yes,
it should be
intrinsic, natural. I'll never be elegant.
So this is dry. Kind of dusty.
It is dry.
Dusty
this evening. Yes, first time I have said.
Texture's good. It's
back of your teeth, licking it off your wisdom teeth.
Yeah, it's kind of silky, but also a little bit sticky.
I'm getting florality from this tonight as well, a floral aspect.
I am not. I'm getting lots of yellow fruit.
Good. So that's what I would typically get from it. Tonight it's a wee bit. I often use the term spritz, so it's almost like that, like a room freshener, or if you walk into a florist and it's just kind of hanging in the air, it's like atomized floral notes. Almost like the perfume, but it's not a fresh spray of perfume. You walk into a scene where the perfume has been,
but it's it's not the floral aspect's not heavy at all, so it's not like hyacinth or iris or lily or anything like that. It's a much fresher, lighter style.
Yeah, I'm focusing on the top notes. This is Moorish whiskey. I
find it quite grippy, actually.
grippy, so it hangs about.
Yeah, like I'm aware of the tannic structure. I don't know if that I would call this moreish.
Well, I've just
Yeah.
I somehow have managed to just thump the thing. So
Nice bit of spice to it as well.
yeah. So this is a really cruel thing to do to myself, cruel thing to do to you, and cruel to do it to the whiskey. Give it to somebody blind. But I've been pouring this for people blind over the last few months that I've had it, and there's been unanimous acclaim it. What is this? I need to understand what this is and this type of thing. Because before I tell you what it is, would you put an age on it? An ABV?
Okay, so it's quite grippy. There's nothing that says super old. I think it's about 50% in its teens. You're going to tell me it's 50 or something like that?
No, maybe a bit of barrel char in there. Look,
yeah, nice.
It's a cask sample, but it's after vatting. It's the next Barfly's bottling.
Okay.
That's not bottled yet. It's not even close to being green lit rubber stamped. But I've had this since I think it was October last year. We went to this distillery and we sat around the table, loads of us, and we vatted this together. This is Golden Promise. At point of vatting, it was 9 years old. By the time we bottle it, it'll be 10 years old.
Just Ardnamurchan, yeah?
No. This is Schmogen.
Schmogen?
Swedish whiskey. Unpeated. It's their Ashgeim or Askeim, they call it.
Schmogen. It's good.
They fill each distillation. He fills half a cask. So I mean, it's as a brand, as a single malt whiskey, it's super rare and valuable. But that stuff, Golden Promise Heritage Grain at 10 years old is. Well, I've seen how many casks there are, and I'm bottling half of them.
Jings.
Yeah, I think it's anyway. It means a lot to me to share it with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that a compliment that I compared it to Ardnamurchan, do you think?
Absolutely, I think it is. I think it absolutely is. I think Ardnamurchan is one of the best spirits that Scotland is making today.
Yeah.
And I know we're all on record as a fanboy, right? I just think it is. I think we are also in the very fortunate position that we're getting to witness the thing being birthed and growing, as it goes. One day, people lying on our deathbed, and maybe it's an Ardnamurchan that will ask, and it'll be at hopefully a very ripe and mature age at that point. And that's going to be a privilege of our lifetime to see a distillery of that quality being birthed and growing, and it's true of all the Fife distilleries and the Lowland distilleries and all the other distilleries that we have in Scotland and beyond. It's a remarkable time.
It's really savoury, actually.
I'm going to need to pour more, but I'm trying to be very
no.
There's left of it.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, superb. A nice wee thing to
I
go
was firmly in Scotland.
Give you a glass of wee rinse, because I'm going to give you something that before we go into the quiz at the end. I know that I've been ignoring all of you tonight. I'll make it up to you next week. I promise that I will. But I'm here with my pal, and if we can hang out with you.
And I did rather derail things with the Laphroaig.
Do you remember a tasting that I almost gave you a heart attack in 2019? I hosted a tasting, and because I'm terrible at maths,
Yes.
I oversold the tasting by about 4 seats or more.
7, mate. 7.
I'm not going to get at maths. I've a shit memory and I'm worse at maths, okay? So we kept squeezing more people in, and they just kept coming. And the last 2 people to arrive was Nick and Penny Keane. And you said, well, we can't fit any more in. I said, Roddy, they've come from New Zealand. So Ben Dearg stood up, cousin Kevin stood up and gave up their seats.
Yes,
I gave up my set of drams, and Bart or Scott, one of them, gave up their set of drams, and we managed to squeeze everyone in. But Roddy was sweating. He was like, it's not just, he said, it's just about we need to know. I said, sorry, big guy. And Matthew, I think, was the one that said,
Matthew was
work.
So
anyway, that was, I came along, and I came a few days later, and I said to you, I said, I'm really, really sorry. I said that I made it. And you said, don't worry about it. It was stressful at the time, but it was a brilliant tasting and everything went well.
And Matthew pointed out that,
it was all going to be fine.
Yes,
right.
And it was all
It
fine.
was brilliant.
It was great.
It was a fantastic event.
The wall was signed. The drams were amazing.
Do you remember the parting words that you said to me?
No, I don't know.
And don't worry, I got the dregs of that clean leash.
Oh,
and it brought tears to my eyes.
Yes, that's right. Yes, it did. Yes.
This is the bottle.
Oh, wow.
So this is the exact same cask, 8687, famous cask. It was the reason it was at that tasting was for a very. This is the one that we opened it and with Andrew Symington up at Edredar. This is a 1995 clean leash, and I might have even hinted during that live stream that one of my pals that was going to get a dram of this. That's just water in that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
let's just to clarify, you don't like this, and this is one of the ones that I'm taking home, right?
No, I think you've got more chance of sprouting some breasts by taking this one off. But the Auchentoshan is absolutely yours. No. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely yours. Anyway, this is the wee clean leash that brought some tears. Roddy, thanks for your patience. Thanks for your always coming along, and any topic goes, any topic flies.
That was good fun.
Cheers to all of you as well for hanging out with us. The Italians have a thing. They have a grappa. I think it's like a spiral tower, and they bring the grappa out on a wee tower. And the higher it up is, the more expensive it is. Oak age grappas, all of these things. I'm like, my goodness, what does that taste like? Anyway, when they say that you can't suddenly decide you've spent enough and then go back down to the bottom, you can't come back down the stairs, is the saying.
Okay.
Right? And it always makes me think of this, is like, where do you go from here? Where do you follow that?
That's true.
That's for us to work out after the quiz at the end. Please, sir, can I try that clean leash, says Peter Lee. Black Fen Conrad is saying, Per Calden Bays, can Per be in tonight? So the man that made the spirit that I've just let you try was in tonight. I'd have been much more awkward about that interaction if I'd known the guy that made it was in. Per, I'm so sorry, big guy. But I wanted to share it with one of my most trusted pals. Looking forward to trying the next Aquavite bottling. Fantastic vPub, Roy. We all enjoyed the treat. The drams for Roddy. There you go, Alistair. Thank you so much, buddy. I'll make sure that Roddy is rewarded with suitable drams. Danny Hevington. Sorry, Black Fen is talking to Danny and he's saying Aquavite Daphne 15 is rather nice. Yes, the Daphne 15 is an absolute privilege as well. And Danny is sipping that 15-year-old Daphne, lemongrass all over it. What a lovely, lovely dram. I've got a few anecdotes around that dram as well. So if we're ever enjoying a dram in real life, that Danny, it would be wonderful to share them with you. Per is here. He says, you're good, Roy. He's still coming over in February. Bud Jenkins is saying, I'm just listening to this chat and loving every minute. Thanks, Roddy and Roy. It's always a joy when Roddy joins live. It's a joy for me, Bud, as well. And I've said this before, I'll admit it. It doesn't feel like a club night, it's different, but it feels like a night off to me. It feels like, so when I'm doing the vPub, I've kind of got to keep the ball in the air and keep talking about stuff, no dead air. I have to make sure it's appropriate and listenable and all that stuff. So a lot of work goes into what I'm going to say before you go live, but you don't script it, you just go. But you always sign off from the vPub feeling like you've put effort in, you've worked, you've done something. When I do it with you, we just go upstairs and pour another dram. It's genuine fun, and if people can have fun watching this, then we can drink more of stuff like this.
I think The thing about whiskey, especially when you make the point of being in a club or, you know, going to a whiskey bar where you can talk to other people who are
sharing. Yep.
You're sharing, and you know, like I've done this. You know, I've been in the Bon or the Pot or whatever, and people have randomly given me drams.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I've randomly
given drams.
Drams. Like Thomas at the Bon, cunning man that he is, bought a Brackla that he knew that I loved, and I swear most of the bottle was me giving it, buying it for people. You know,
yeah. That's right.
And that's just, you know, that's part of the joy of whiskey, that, you know, you go to a whiskey safe space where people are not going to look at you sideways if you talk about worm tubs or why wine casks.
When it's appropriate to say smooth and not smooth, or vanilla and not vanilla,
you know,
Parma violets,
you know,
yeah.
And that's what
we're
doing.
Space is,
you know,
that's
what we're doing tonight. You know, like we don't need a script, because you know, we're in the headspace where we're just talking about whiskey, and you know,
it's a pleasure. It's easy.
Yeah, the free association is enough.
Aye, it's enough. Bastante. Cheers, everyone. Sorry.
There'll be a quiz eventually.
My pal Graham, I think today is his birthday. If it wasn't today, it was yesterday. It was yesterday. Let's raise a wee birthday dram of Clynelish to Graham, my pal Graham. You're a superstar, Graham. Big guy. Many happy returns. He's celebrating being a member of the Barflies for 41 months, saying, wishing you the happiest 2026 possible. Thank you, my friend. Alistair Smith, I think Alistair picked up yours, didn't I? Alistair Smith is saying, bedtime, Roy, great vPub. I've doorstepped Roddy a couple of festivals, and he has always been very gracious. Well, you'll get to do it hopefully in 2026 as well, Alan, and let me know if he's anything less than gracious. And if he is, it's probably because he's running about delivering water and very stressed. Danny Hebington is saying, hey, got to add the plaudits. Yeah, you and Roddy make a great pair with fair winds and following seas. I hope to see the two do more together. Slant you guys, great evening. Superb, Danny, thank you so much. A big dram just dropping in from Jimmy Legg saying everyone loves a Roddy vPub, but if you've ever had a whiskey with him, you'll actually get to love the man.
I'm working on a cocktail for Jimmy. He doesn't know it yet, but there's going to be a cocktail in his future that he's actually going to like.
And hopefully the nomenclature is going to be very obviously a Jimmy Legg cocktail.
Okay, I hadn't thought of that.
You have to come up with a...
I was thinking about just merely the ingredients, but the name matters as well, doesn't it?
And the serve. I'm the brand guy.
No, you're right. The name matters and the serve. What's the garnish going to be? What would the garnish be?
Yeah, don't put a garnish on it. You know you're going to get hit with a cocktail regardless. So if there's a garnish on it, it's only going to inflict more.
Yes, no, you're right. So no sharp garnishes is what you're saying.
The softest, maybe a dusting of a garnish would be good. You know, something. But even then, it can't be like cinnamon or anything, because that can go in your eyes.
Sting,
yeah, we have to be very careful about the ammunition we put in the man's hands, right? Mike Molasses is saying we deserve more than 1 or 2 Roddy vPubs per year. See, there you go. There's an emoji. we need to ask Gregor to redraw your emoji, because you've still got your ponytail.
The baldy heat.
Falscraft is saying Jimmy Legg. What about Weary Leg? There's a good start. Okay. It's going to have a leg theme. Peathead is saying Aquavita cocktail. Thought Roddy appeared to be a decent man, but I might have been wrong. we have to find a cocktail that shuts these people up. I think they need to keep their minds open, and it's going to be harder the older that you become to keep your mind open. I think. Do you find this? I find myself becoming very, very. My kids are around to keep me honest, but I find the older you become, it's harder, I think, to keep your mind open.
So that's interesting. Like I've always been easily bored, which means novelty is good.
Aye.
Because I'm easily bored.
Footering with things.
Yeah, but then equally, so I spent a large part of my life as a computer programmer / software designer, and as my work colleagues would tell you, I get very ranty about new software.
I don't need to work with you in order to verify that you can become ranty.
So in the matter of computers, I think we peaked maybe 20 years ago. And everything since then has been people doing. Like, why are we not talking about whiskey? So
No. This is.
So the short answer is no, because I do get easily bored. You know, like I'm a neophile. But not when it comes to computers. You know, because I used to work with them.
Frank, you can have your aversion to cocktails. Likewise, who else was it that was against cocktails? It wasn't Mike Molasses.
Probably Jimmy Legg.
Yeah, Jimmy Legg and Frank. It was because Roddy's just greenlit it for you. He's got his things, and we're allowed to have them. And I know that I've got them too. There are certain things we can attempt to be as open-minded and as curious. When you say bored.
Oh boy, that is savage.
Mike Molasses just threw
I was
dagger.
So, Mike, I was an early exponent of risk chips. You know, I was early to the Acorn Archimedes, and I honestly think that's kind of where we peaked. You know, that was like I don't know if you like I'm sorry, I'm taking over. This is no longer a whiskey vPub. We're now talking about the first.
I'll go and put the toasties on.
Yeah, no, the first operating system for the Archimedes was written in BASIC, and it ran fast enough that worked because of the quality of the software. But look.
Love an Acorn, Roddy. Takes me back to primary school. At Whiskey Graham, Jimmy Legg is saying COBOL is the best language too. Right, okay, what we're working out is that our community is, the bulk of our community are specialist subject.
There's a big overlap.
What was it you said? You become easily bored?
Yeah, I'm a neophile. Yeah.
So you need distraction,
novelty,
new things.
Yeah.
You need the. It's interesting that I've been into whiskey for 20 years because I'm the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I usually kind of, I don't ever fall out of love with, but I just drift away from. Whereas whiskey's kept me. I think it's people. I think it's the folk. Anyway, decent whiskey such as this Klein Leash helps. Listen, we were doing really, really well on time, and now it's an absolute mess. But that's okay.
Oh boy,
looking at the time. We do have a quiz at the end. Roddy, you're not off hire yet. You have to play along. I should have had the wee envelopes out, but I didn't prepare them. Oh, you do with your fingers. I'll go 3, 2, 1. You're not playing against anyone online. It's fine.
Okay, right.
You can do it. So, just the 2-digit years causing a bit of an issue, Aquavitae. The 99. That's a Millennium Bug reference.
No, that was well sorted.
Yeah. Black Venice saying risk ended up being wow. We've really derailed this whole thing. Ended up being implemented in PIC microcontrollers that are used in vast amounts of electrical goods. We've tapped a sea.
The problem is that because it was so easy to do that, we've ended up with this ridiculous situation where you can get. Last week, I got a software update for a keyboard, and it was like 300 megabytes for a keyboard. What is going on with that?
Bloat. It's just
bloat. Aye. Like the.
So I have a suggestion. You, Jimmy, Frank, Mike Molasses, Conrad, Blackfen, podcast. Raging and railing. You should get together and record a podcast and talk about all this stuff. It would light it. That probably exists. Probably exists. People out there doing it already.
Probably does. Yeah.
I hope you're giving Roddy a bed, says Alistair. And Chris Pollock says, I had lectures at university by Professor Zemenek, one of the fathers of PL1. Oh my goodness.
That's cool.
This is derailed completely.
That's very, very cool.
Alistair, Roddy's, I've got a bed here if he needs it, but I suspect we'll be able to get him home by catapult.
Look at that. Excellent. I like what I've uncovered here.
Risk pyramid running AT&T HR systems from Sugar Kitty. My goodness, There's a lot of kindred spirits.
There are, yeah, there are.
These speaking a language that I cannot converse in.
The this chap here, person, I am indeed a Linux person. Picked up on Unix in the mid-80s, and it's like, why should we use anything else? Anyway, like, we're meant to be talking about whiskey, folk.
There's only one or two Linux questions in the quiz at the end.
Right, okay.
Only one or two. By only one or two, I mean none. Anyway, this is the quiz at the end. Good luck, my friend. I don't know what you probably scalped the climb leash.
I did scalp the climb leash. No.
Do you want more?
No. I'm on the
Scapa?
Laphroaig.
Oh, you're on the Laphroaig. Cheers, fella. Good luck with the quiz at the end. I hope you do as well as you did with the semi-blind matchup. Please, if you're here, if you're up for staying along for the quiz at the end, please consider doing so. It's always multiple choice. Playing against yourself, and even the things that you don't know, I suppose you can lean on the community and hope that they get it right too. Watch out for the banana skins. Certainly watch out for the ass hat, especially at the end. Good luck, everyone. Question 1. Which of these distillery visitor centres is an easy day trip from Aberdeen? We're looking for a easy distillery visitor centre day trip from Aberdeen. Do you notice anything about that question, Roddy?
And that's a banana skin.
A. Glengarry, B. Burnabenny, or C. Fettercairn? Isn't this YouTube thing on a computer? Jimmy, it absolutely is. I was reading about the chip in this had 48 billion somethings to do with its CPU.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I felt when I read it. I was like, that the CPU has 48 billion of those. That sounds meaningless.
It's a very large number.
It's just a number that we can't. There's 48 billions of them. Yes. All I know is that it's quicker than the last one I had. That maybe only had 20 billion of the things.
I like how somebody's asking which flavour of Linux already.
Wow.
For those,
I should just go and make the toasties.
You should go. So I've got 3 machines, 2 with Ubuntu and 1 with NetBSD. Sorry.
The wee penguin. I know about
the wee
penguin.
Shall we start the
Ubuntu? I recognise that.
Shall we start rekindle the Emacs versus Vim war on the vPub tonight? Shall we do that?
Vim was a cleaning product. It was a powder specifically from a tube.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm going to go with Fettercairn.
Jimmy Legg is saying Ubuntu is for the ladies. So there are definitely strong opinions in here. Roddy is going with Fettercairn, and he's absolutely correct. But if you said Glengarry, you would also be absolutely correct as well.
Okay.
But Burnabenny does not have a visitor centre. So
that's the banana
yes,
skin.
it's easy to get there and back, and theoretically, in Aberdeen, but there was a banana skin. Sometimes the first question is a freebie for everyone. Not tonight, anyone that said B or A, B, and C, you didn't see the banana skin, even though Roddy pointed it out. Question 2. Which is the furthest north of the Speyside distilleries? Yeah, it's not obvious, is it? A. Glenglassaugh, B. Benromach, C. Roseisle. Geographically, north.
Did you see that the 3 norths recently diverged? We had a period where geographic, magnetic, and the other one.
Oh, I heard about this on Radio Scotland.
They were all together. I didn't understand that.
I don't understand. I can vaguely understand the difference between geographical and magnetic. But what's the other one?
True north. Astronomical north. Like there's 3 of them anyway.
Did you start a conversation in the hope that I could add to it?
Yes. Anyway, whiskey.
This is not an uncommon thing for it to happen.
So
Roddy looks at me and considers for a nanosecond that I'm an intellectual. and
I'm going to go with Glenglassaugh for this one. On the basis of...
Banana skins?
Because it's by the sea. You're going to tell me it's not Speyside?
No.
All right, Roselle then.
It's question 2. There should be a banana skin here. It's my fault.
Is it Roselle?
Hey, everybody is suggesting either B. Daisy is thinking A, question mark. Nicholas is saying B. Helen Williamson is saying B. Good to have you, Nicholas. Good to have you, Helen. Roddy, I've tried to talk to Roy about other things before it didn't work. It's true. It's true. Roddy, you're right. It's Roselle. Furthest north is Roselle. Glenglassaugh is actually an Eastern Highland distillery, but it's right up there on the cusp, right on the top on the coast. Benromac
is it in the Bucky Ward or something annoying like that?
It could be. Somebody's going to come in and say Glenglassaugh is a Speyside, but you go with the
what they call it,
the wisdom.
2 for 2. 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Take it.
I will.
Jimmy Legg is already on a 1 for 2. Be raging now.
I hope there's a cocktail question just for Jimmy.
Just for Jimmy and Frank. This might take a turn. If he's on a 1 out of 2, then okay. Which of these famous Speyside distilleries can call the town of Keith its home? A. Altmore, B. Ardmore, C. Cragganmore. This is tough, Roy. What were you? So a lot of these questions are pre-done because it's more efficient for me to do them in advance. And if I don't do that, I forget the questions, or I've left lots of notes in different notebooks. So it's better just to build them up and then kind of bring them in. And I think, that's a good question. And I bring it in, and then that's tough for a question 3. It's supposed to be very easy in the first 5. Oh, okay. I can see why it's easier now. Again, there should be a banana skin here. Which of these famous Speyside distilleries can call the town of Keith its home? Jimmy Legg is saying, where is Graham? Everyone's looking for Graham Fraser to follow.
I'm going for A.
A. For 3 for 3, Roddy is going for A. How would you pronounce that name? There's a new name. I'd like to welcome them in. Cuttlefash 6972. Hey, I don't know what your name actually is, my friend, but it's nice to have you here. But you're suggesting that this is A, agreeing with Roddy along with Jeff Sugar Kitty. Dave the Brave is saying A. Kyle Taylor is saying Nostra Thyla. Tripleberg, good to see you in Tripleberg. You're saying A. Daisy is saying A. Danny Hevington is saying A. Everyone's going for Altmore. It looks like it could be Altmore, and indeed, it's Altmore. 3 for 3.
Hey.
Question 4. In which month is the Spirit of Speyside Festival typically held? So festival season is upon us. SWG3, the Weekend National Festival. Are you going? Yeah,
I'm working. I've got a tasting on Sunday, so I'm prepping for the tasting on Saturday, which is a scunner because there's loads of whiskies that I wanted to catch up on. But
I think I might be there on Saturday on the early session.
I'll be
hopefully
polishing glasses all day and reading about champagne.
That's the vocation you chose, right?
It's a hard life, yeah.
Spirit of Speyside is typically held in A. March, pre-Midgie season, B. September, peak Midgie season, or C. May, same as Fishiel and Campbellton Malts festivals. Oh, dear water. Let the folk, most of them are going to know this instantly, immediately.
Right. Okay.
But just, you know one, so you're excited, right? So you're like,
well, I'm thinking it's a decade since I've been to...
I've never been to the Speyside. Spirits of Speyside. Never been.
I need to get back.
Yeah,
it's good fun.
Yeah, I think
if only to get on that wee train that doesn't run very often.
Yeah, and in all the distilleries that don't normally open, right?
Aye.
Last year, I think it was Graham Fraser and a few other folk managed to visit places like. You can do a gin tour at Balmainac, but you can't do really a whiskey tour. And then the other ones that are shut, like the Manic Moors, and all of these kind of
curious. Over the years, I've tried to book the Mortlach tour, but basically you've got 5 minutes,
and it's gone.
So I've never managed it yet.
Yeah, Diageo is sitting on gold, and they don't know how to polish it. Do you know that? They're shutting down Clynelish. It's a visitor centre. It's just clumsy. Anyway, what would you suggest? March, September, or May, Roddy? May. Spot on. Along with absolutely most of the people that are out there in the lounge. The same. It tends to, sometimes it can be at the end of April, but it runs into the first weekend of May. But Fashiel is right at the end of May, can sometimes slip into the start of June. Campbellton Malts Festival is right before Fashiel in May. Question 5 is an image. And I'm not going to ask you what distillery this is, but you probably need to know what distillery it is in order to answer of these 3 possibilities. A, this distillery is owned by Diageo. B, this distillery has been closed since 1931. Or C, this is famously part of Chivas Regal Blends. There should be an asshat on this one, because you need to know the answer to 2 different things in order to get this one right. Sugar Kitty is picking me up. That means there should be an asshat. Jeff, you are absolutely spot on, my friend. The grass is well kept for being closed since 1931, says Jimmy. Okay. Kyle Taylor, that's interesting. The Clynelish Visitor Centre is trash. They should reopen it with better experiences. Driving so far north to do that was bad. Do you know, I think the difference between a good tour and a bad tour is the connection you have with the folk. And it's a really hard thing to do for staffing and stuff.
When the last time I visited Clynelish, which is a while ago, it started off very, very crabbit.
Then they warmed up.
Well, I asked some geeky questions, and all of a sudden they were like, all right, one of us.
So that's when you have a too geeky tour guide.
Yeah.
Or a tour guide that can't modulate for the audience.
Yes, and I'd paid for the Clynelish tour, but they ended up taking me into Brora.
Oh,
like it was before they reopened it, so it was like,
that's nice.
It was nice, but it was like,
I've never had the one of us. I always get beat it, you annoying.
No, I don't know. It was just lucky. I'm gonna. Can I say it?
Yes, you can go.
I think that's Parkmore.
Which it's owned by Diageo, closed since 31, or B, closed since 1931. Yeah. Cal Taylor is saying for sure the connection matters, but the Clynelish was a Disney automated BS tour, worse than the Princess Street and the middle of nowhere. Listen, I have to say, Kyle, that's your. It's not just your opinion; that is fact for you, and the feedback is important. And you've made the point already that it's a hell of a drive north.
It is.
And if that's the pilgrimage destination, if that's the end point, it means something to a lot of people. And if there's laziness put into the experience, which can happen for various reasons, I think it's a big shame, Kyle. I'm sorry that you heard that. I hope you had other distillery experiences that were much better. I have to say that Roddy is absolutely spot on. 5 for 5. We are looking at Parkmore. It was closed since 1931, but still finds use as a general centre, but also maturation and things. The offices are used. I think it's a sale. The Murray McDavid folk that use the offices.
Okay.
But the warehousing is used by. I'm trying to remember. It's not Willie Grant's that own Parkmore. I think it's Edrington that own Parkmore now for warehousing. One of them.
When I was there, I was shown round by Willie Grant's people, so I don't.
Could
know.
be Willie Grant's.
I can't remember.
Willie Grant's, but it is immaculately kept.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be one of these nice Dufton ones to bring back to life. Question 6. It's going to get tougher now. We're on the back straight, right? You feel confident already, don't you?
No. Yes. No. Yes.
Teacher's Highland Cream blended Scotch is forever linked with which Highland distillery? Teacher's Highland Cream. A, Dalmore. B, Highland Park. C, Ardmore. Sugar Kitty saying, isn't it Edrington? I wondered if Parkmore wasn't Edrington.
I don't know.
I should have checked. I'm putting the quiz together. You know, Jeff, I should know this.
When I was there, I was shown round by Willie Grant's people. So.
Yeah. Willie Grant's on Convo More.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a while ago. I don't remember.
I had it in my head the same as Jeff did, that it was Edrington, but I am very likely to be wrong. Graham Young, Daisy of Leland, Graham Fraser is in. He's playing along with Ian Williamson, Falscraft. Good to see you, class. Fairnight Walker, good to see you, buddy. Bob Wenting, all going for C. Cult of Ashby, also going for C. You're also going for C. Mm-hmm. Everyone thinks it's C. Ardmore. I think that was a wee bit easy. Ardmore.
Too easy for the second half.
Peter Mackey connection there. No, it wasn't Peter Mackey. I'm thinking of Craig Ellicky and Lyle. This was the Adam bloke. What was his name? Somebody Adam. Douglas Adam. That makes sense. Teachers. Anyway, it's one of these distilleries. It's quite a rare thing that were built specifically to protect the supply for blends. So a product was built before the distillery to supply the product, which only happens in a handful of cases. Yeah.
Aberfeldy. I'd say.
Yeah, Dures. Yeah.
I think the late 19th century, there was an awful lot of work going on that was
to do that very thing,
but not talked about ostensibly. You know,
and today, and it's not a good story to tell today.
No,
when
it's
you do
not.
it, right?
Like the whole of the last 2.5 decades of the 19th and the first decade of the 20th are all about the grain distillers and the malt distillers jockeying to control their product
brands.
Yeah,
brand. Yep.
But they were all what we would now call subtweeting each other. You know, they were having a dig at each other, but it's all very much in lowercase. You know,
but it was risking the supply of their PT product or whatever for their blend, and so they all had to run around building distilleries for very specific purposes. Quite fascinating, but absolutely right. Anybody that answered Ardmore, absolutely. Oh, that's
6 for 6.
Yeah, David Brave's on a 6 for 6 joining you. I think it's maybe a tricky quiz tonight. We've got some attrition. I can't see any other 6 for 6s. Randy J. Rice is saying, according to Wikipedia, Parkmore Edrington acquired Highland Distillers. The Parkmore owner, through partnerships with Willie Grant and Sons, taking a minority interest. So they're probably using it for warehousing as well, potentially. Or future reinvigoration, who knows? Question 7. In 2017 and 2018, 100 casks were filled at a distillery that is now closed. Mostly in the hands of private buyers. What is this malt called? It's quite fascinating. A, Red River, B, D-Side, or C, Spirit of Eden?
Jings.
Yeah. Have you heard of any of those malts?
No.
All of the questions in tonight's quiz, I think, we're at question 7 already. What some of the questions that follow may not be, but I'm confident that all of tonight's questions so far are from the 2026. It's usually hanging about here somewhere. Malt Whiskey Yearbook by Super Swede Ingvar. So that's where you have a copy of this, don't you? You tend to use these extensively, don't you? It's like a friend for me. A brilliant companion.
I don't know. I know what I'm going for, but it's a guess.
Okay. According to, sorry, I picked that one up, Randy. Thanks for skipping over to Wikipedia to help us out a wee bit there.
I'm not
confident.
I think so. Red River, Abhainn. I think we can skip. Eden is ringing a bell, but not surfacing, so I don't know. So I'm going B.
Process of elimination by Rodders.
Yep.
I have to say, you've nailed it. Superb. Well done.
Blind luck.
I'll explain. I was suggesting Red River, Avonjarrick, but you needed to know Avonjarrick was Red River. Spirit of Eden, Eden Mill. It's like, that's still going. It's been going. D-Side was actually a tiny micro distillery that was running for about 18 months or so, filled 100 casks, sold the majority of those casks to private buyers, and then built Burnobeny Distillery.
Ah, okay, those guys.
Yeah.
Right.
So there is a malt whiskey out there called D-Side.
Mhm.
That's going to be literally one of the rarest whiskies.
I mean, is that going to be like chain peer though?
Yeah, well, no.
Do you remember the chain peer thing? Like it came and went in a single year in Edinburgh.
The micro distilling thing.
Yeah.
Yes. But but it means nothing because it's just okay. Just because you've made not a lot of something doesn't mean it's brilliant.
Uh-huh.
But if there's only 100 casks of something that's left to be 15, 18, 21 some years old, and then comes good, it's like, okay, there's only 100.
You'd want to taste it though, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
But it's curious that this.
I mean, so Burnobeny, I think they do other stuff. Like they've put in rum to us, and probably gin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No whiskey yet.
No.
Yeah.
So 7 for 7.
7. You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Wouldn't it be funny if I got 6 for 6 and 10 for 10?
That would be amazing.
I
would make a toasty if that happened. Question 8. In the context of whiskey, Project Marley refers to what?
Oh, man.
Have you heard of it?
So, no idea.
Okay.
God damn it.
Is there anyone matching Roddy in the chat tonight?
Anybody else 7 for 7 so far?
Project Marley refers to A, infamous but unrealised plans for a Diageo Campbelltown distillery. B, Project Marley refers to the demolition of a distillery in favour of a nature reserve. Or C, Project Marley refers to the construction of Isla's 12th distillery, due to be commissioned in 2026.
Oh, man. No idea.
Jimmy's keeping you in check. He's saying, everyone, Roddy doesn't normally blow his own horn like this. Come on, Jimmy. 7 out of 7. A quiz at the end. When it's been a tough quiz, Graham Fraser is matching you. Of course he is.
Of course he is. Aye.
Superstar. Super student. Dave the Brave. He's doing no bad. 7-7 for Dave the Brave. Fantastic. But it starts to get,
Okay, so the
Project Marley.
I've got a 1 in 3 chance here. This is, I've no idea.
And where is the early ones where you'd be kind of process elimination could help? Oh, that's a space side, not Highland Distillery, so it's 50-50. You don't have that as it gets closer to the end. All of those are possible answers, right? And if there's one there that's not possible, get rid of it.
Okay, I know what I'm going for.
Okay.
On the basis of plausibility, at least. So I am going for B. Because I feel as if A or C, I would have heard of some chat about it.
Okay, I can tell you that Project Marley refers to...
Hey!
Wow. Nobody has seen this quiz before it's gone live. Roddy had no access to this. What I'm witnessing in Roddy right now is pure joy, right? That's
wow.
So Project Marley is the deconstruction of Macallan.
Okay, right.
They're taking it apart. There's some historic elements being left for various historic reasons.
Yes.
But most of the old distillery has been returned to nature in some way. And that's what Project Marley is all about. Wow. 8 for 8, Roddy. 2 more to go. Penultimate question. In which country is Last Hope Distillery, the world's most southern malt distillery, located? So the world's most southern malt distillery is called Last Hope. But I'd like you to tell me in which country. Calm your jets, Roddy. We've still got that bastard 10 to go, says Danny Heaventon.
I know. Even Danny, even 8 out of 10 would be good for me. I'm rubbish at this.
It's worth half a toasty. We can split a toasty.
I'm already dancing.
A, Australia has the world's most southern malt distillery. B, Chile has the world's most southern malt distillery. Or C, New Zealand has the world's most southern malt distillery.
It's another guess, Roy.
If I was playing this quiz, if I was answering, I'd be guessing, absolutely guessing. Well, this is me going back. I can smell the peat now.
Oh, now you can smell the peat.
I just needed a wee clean leash, is it to readjust the palate? Oh my gosh! How did I not?
All of a sudden, it's a smoky whiskey.
It's a smoky bastard. No, I'm fine. I've got honours. Wow.
On the basis of nothing, I know what I'm going.
Good. It's done you well so far. Graham Young is going blee. Lassie, Hot Saltzman, good to see you, Lassie. B. Jimmy Legg is going B, and you Williamson B. Trebleberg is going B.
I should not have gone C by the looks of it.
Have you gone C?
Yeah.
Change your mind?
No. Why would I do that? I committed to C.
Yeah, why would someone as belligerent as you change your mind, right? It is Chile.
God
yes,
damn it.
I've even put a wee illustration up here for you to see. And I know that, is this the Mercator projection we're looking at? I don't know.
Looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah.
So I think that we can use it to more or less draw a straight line from left to right. And you can see New Zealand away over there. Regardless, Last Hope Distillery is owned by an Australian couple.
Okay.
A tiny little thing in a tiny little place down in the very, very south of Chile. It's the world's most southerly distillery. Something to remember for the future.
Who's 9 for 9?
I can't imagine we've still got anyone. Maybe Graham.
Graham will be 9 for 9. Graham, where are you?
B, he said. Oh, he got it.
Yeah, he's 9 for 9.
9 for 9. Graham. Amazing, man. Amazing.
Damn you, Graham.
See, when somebody's...
there's Dave the Brave as well.
Oh, excellent. Dave the Brave. Once more. Well done, Dave the Brave. Once somebody's very, very good at something, we start to dislike them.
Yes, we do.
I want to fight. I think it should be celebrated when you're bloody good at something.
Oh, you're right.
Argentinians are missing their chance. Oh, but it cuts. There's a wee kind of wedge down at the south. So maybe there's an opportunity for an Argentinian distillery. Like there's something commercial about being a southernmost distillery. Okay, it's the asshat at the end, everyone. We've got Dave the Brave.
And Graham.
Oh, you
so I'm 8 for 9. But if they slip up, then I can catch up with them.
Oh, okay. Oh, so now you're hoping for failure.
I'm hoping for them to
sell it. Right.
I know that's very, very churlish of me. But
It's fine. Chile begins with C, and the owners are Australian, so all answers were right. It's class. Take it, big guy. Take it. The asshat at the end. How many more Scotch malt distilleries are active? By more, imagine Loch distilleries. Okay, so that would be Royal Loch Nagar, Loch Lomond, Loch Lee. They're all Loch distilleries.
Okay.
So this is not how many more distilleries. Italicized and in quotation marks, it's how many distilleries with more in the name are active. Okay. So to give you an example, Conville Moor we talked about tonight, Park Moor we talked about tonight.
Inactive, yeah.
But they are inactive. But these are examples of more distilleries.
Cragganmore is active.
You're feeding people, though. You can continue to feed them.
Well, I'm feeding myself, mainly.
Okay. Okay, so how many more distilleries are there active today? A, about the same number as active Islay distilleries. B, about the same number as active lowland distilleries located in Fife. Or C, about the same number as active distilleries on Skye, Raasay, and the Outer Hebrides. The asshat is the asshat.
That's a wonderful question.
The amount of times I put an asshat question together, read it out, and feel shame is immeasurable. They're terrible things. And if it was Menno doing this quiz, I'd be raging at them. But it has to be special to be able to achieve the 10, right? It has to be something that people can really go like.
Yeah.
And there are ways to kind of fathom. I should not distract you anymore. I'll leave you to.
I think I know what my answer is just because I'm struggling to think of many. So
yes,
I'm going for the option which gives me the least number.
Okay. I'm going to help you a little bit by telling you the numbers. Active Islay distilleries numbers 11. Lowland distilleries located in Fife, 5. And active distilleries on Skye, Raasay, and the Outer Hebrides is 7.
Can I change my answer to B then?
Yes, you can. Of course you can. Danny Hebington is saying Aquaviti, as much as it's a bastard 10, never change it. I think C, Ralphie, but I'm not confident. It says our new friend, Cut Up Fashby. I need to know Cut Up Fashby. It's a tough name, that one, isn't it? Give it a go.
Cut Up Fashby.
I think that's what I said, right? So
Yeah,
we're in agreement.
Cut Up Fashby.
Kyle Taylor is saying, so that E really matters. Oh, what?
Jimmy doesn't want me to change my answer. Jimmy, I'm changing my answer, so shut it. I will not be taking advice from Canada at this point in time.
Kyle Taylor, I need to work out what the E references to while I leave Roddy and Jimmy to have a wee 5,000 mile face off. The safest pub brawl there has ever been. Okay, I've told you all that Active Islay Distilleries number 11 as of today. Lowland Distilleries located in Fife number 5, and Hebrides, Outer Hebrides, Skye, Raasay, the number 7. I can tell you, Peat is saying Bamore, Ardmore, Cragganmore, Dalmore. So he's got 4. The answer is C. You should have listened to your pal in Canada. You should have stuck with him.
God damn it.
Ardmore, Dalmore, Bowmore, Altmore, Cragganmore, Manachmore,
Oh no.
and Tormore. There are more distilleries.
Yes, there
than
are.
you thought.
Well, you know what? 8 out of 10, that is not bad. So
You got very, very close, didn't you? It looked like tonight. I mean, and some of the ones you were getting through were like touch and go, but you were guessing well. And then your belligerence set in. You know, we need a bit of kind of, no, I'm not changing my mind. Well, okay.
So
Belligerence is maybe not the right word.
Who was 10 out of 10?
Well, we're hoping that 9 out of 10 for Graham Fraser. Come on, big guy. That's
Dave
super.
the Brave, 10 out of 10. Yes. Yes.
That's incredible. A 10 out of 10. So Dave the Brave is running around his house with his taps off, just screaming. Well done, because
Good on you, Dave.
That was a brutal.
Did
quiz.
that go red? Can we do that again?
It probably did go.
Oh no,
Yeah, that's fine.
That was good. Thanks.
Fine. We'll smash the glasses. It'll be fine.
Good on you, Dave.
Well done, Graham Fraser. Slipped up on something on a 9 out of 10, but he'll probably have a quiet word with me at the club to tell me how I was actually me that got it wrong.
I think he will,
and he'll be right.
Yes, of course he will.
Well done.
I'm happy with it with an 8. So
Absolutely.
I think the last quiz I did, I was like a 4 or something.
No, I don't think I think you've always had a pass mark, but it can be tough. Sugar Kitty on a 9. Well done, Jeff. Nicholas J on a 9. Superb. Triple Bird just saying, That's the best answer. Yay, 8 out of 10. Lassie is celebrating his 8 out of 10. Lachlan McKenzie's celebrating his 6 out of 10, which is a pass mark. I missed Tobermory. Tobermory. Close, but not quite. Fair Night Walker, not quite. Jimmy Legg is saying the greatness of Roddy has been well reported tonight, but Roy, we still love you too, mostly. I'll take it, Jimmy. I'll take it.
No comments accepted from that man.
But you should have listened to him.
No. Nothing from Canada.
Congrats to the 10 out of 10, says Randy. Peter is saying, darn, I'm too tired. I'm calling it a day. Going to hit the sack. You're doing it at the right time, Frank. Thank you for hanging out with us for all this. Thanks as always for organising Aquavidi. Thanks for participating, Roddy. And to all of you, see you next time. Slancheva. Chris Pollack is saying, thanks to you and Roddy for a great vPub. Can't wait for Roddy to start on his channel on legacy IT topics. It's a new podcast born.
I think
all of the people involved are in this.
I think so. Yeah.
It's a new podcast coming out. Actually, the only thing that you need in order to make that happen is a driver. The participants are here and willing, but you just need somebody that will actually drive and do it. Oh, and you probably need to check out if there's an actual audience for it. But what we've worked out tonight is it looks like there might be. I mean, I would be watching, if I'm honest. But I can understand how such a thing could come to be. Peter Lee is saying, I never laugh so much when Roddy is on the vPub. Cheers, Peter. It's nice to have you hanging out and staying up late with us, buddy. I hope you're doing well. I hope you didn't work too hard tonight. I've had a blast, as I always do. I have. I've
had a terrible time. It's been murder polis.
Objective achieved, completed, checked. What is it? Tagged, bagged, and something like that. Regardless, job done. I've had a nice time tonight. It's nice that I can hang out with a pal and attempt to bring something that's maybe we get 10 or 20% of the content tonight useful, evergreen. But it matters not. You know, the demand is there for Roddy vPubs. They're complaining that we don't do enough of them. These are the Roddy vPubs. I mean, tangents are part of it.
No, I think one of the interesting, so there's multiple things about whiskey. First of all, there's the flavour, which I honestly believe that Scotch whiskey has got a wider spectrum than any other spirit
that you've discovered so far.
Yes.
And this is somebody who tries really hard to discover as much as possible.
So I think that means that there's more to find in whiskey than any other spirit on the planet.
But you did say Scotch whiskey, not just whiskey.
Yeah, no, Scotch. Yep. Because of the peat and the malt versus grain, yada yada. And then on top of that, there's the alcohol part, which means that, as we were talking about before we started tonight, you loosen up, you get relaxed, you're with your pals, so you have the tangents. You know, it's fine to go off on a Slanket adventure, you know, because that doesn't matter, because the point is that you're having fun. And then on top of that, there's the whole thing which comes with any super diverse drinks category. That there's all of, you know, there's the nerd element, you know, the quiz, you know, like
why, how many, when,
and you know, and I suspect all of us have got a little bit of the collector gene. So it's like, oh, I need to tick off Ardnamurchan, I need to tick off you know, Abhainn O'Benny, you know, like there's all these new distilleries to try, you know, Eden Mill, whatever. So the train spotter element, there's so many interesting things about Scotch whiskey that can draw you into it. And then there's the fact that you're having fun because it's tasty and
you're feeling your
you're feeling good,
dissolved.
And you know, especially here, you know, it's
safe space.
It's a really positive, you know, everybody here is positive, you know, so it's a good thing.
Yeah. I have to say, one of the things, it was maybe last year or something like that, that Roddy was very deliberate and pointed out how positive a space our community is.
It is.
And I think the more that that's recognised and acknowledged, the more we become protective of it. And the people that are being a little bit disruptive or kind of, they've not got it yet, just, they don't need a how you go away. They need a, come in, give us 5 minutes.
Just
think about this.
Yeah, hi.
You're fighting your whole life, and every place that you go, everywhere you go, you're having arguments, and you're finding here you can disagree.
Like, so Jimmy and I have this disagreement.
Oh no, nobody's allowed to agree with Jimmy. That's not the thing.
about what you should do with your scotch, you know.
Yes.
But you know, the setting that aside, we fucking love each other, you know. The big guy's a beauty, you know.
Yeah.
It's a lovely man.
It's a good way to end the vPub, actually.
Yeah.
The big guy is a fucking beauty.
Yes, he is, though, isn't he? Aye.
And he's a beauty who has changed his mind in the past and may change his mind ever so slightly in the future too.
I swear, by the time he comes here in September, is it? Or you come? No, you're coming for the
Glasgow Whisky Festival.
Yes, November. I am going to have a drink that will change your mind, Jimmy. I swear I'm going to have that.
Right.
I swear it.
I'm going to pour a wee bit of your Auchentoshan that you've just earned tonight.
No.
You're taking this home, fella.
Away you go.
You like it. And we'll raise a wee glass to everyone that's joined us and participated in tonight. If this is fun for you in any way, that's just amazing. But Roddy and I are going to go off to have a Slanket adventure. It's not going to happen. We're just going to make a toasty and get him an Uber home. But thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. It's been great fun for me. It's been very, very easy for me. I hope it doesn't come across about just how easy it is, but I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll remind you all that you're very dearly loved and look forward to seeing you again next week. Slàinte mhath. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.